present. good. China?
Pioneer, adventurer, leader. It's an instinct to never stand still. Always striving, never settling. Why should investing be any different? After all, your investment challenges aren't standing still. So neither will we. Expect more with iShares.
We're Cambridge, we're Colchester, Felixstowe and Cromer, we're Peterborough, Wellingborough, we're Luton and Acton, we're Hertford and Stratford, London and the East. We're beginners and we're veterans, local and adopted. We're progressive, we're inclusive, we're versatile, we wear our badge with pride. We're those who volunteer endless time, nurturing the future of our game. We're those who inspire others to give it a go. We're those who support with passion, and those who dream of pulling on our shirt. We're strengthening our history to thrive in the future. We are built by our region, for our region. We are sunrisers.
Leaders never stand still. Expect more with iShares.
Vitality Blast back at Compton Hill. Middlesex taking on Hampshire in this fixture, and news of the toss is that Middlesex have won it and elected to field. So Middlesex winning the toss, decided to field, and the side is Stephen Eskenazi, the captain, Joe Cracknell, Peter Milan, Max Holden, Ryan Higgins, Jack Davis, Luke Holman, Josh De Caries, Martin Anderson, Tom Helm and Blake Cullen. As for Hampshire, the Hawks are James Vince, the captain, Ben McDermott, the wicket-keeper, Toby Albert, Joe Weatherly, Ross Whiteley, Aneurin Donalds, Liam Dawson, Chris Wood, Nathan Ellis, Scott Curry and John Turner. So, Hampshire Hawks, 3 from 5, and there's Stephen Eskenazi about to lead out Middlesex. We'll field first in this fixture, ground they know very, very well here at Radlett. I'm Kevin Hand, I'd like to say alongside me for this one, Toby Rowland-Jones. The first innings, anyway, Toby, familiar territory here, Middlesex, I'm sure will be desperate to pick up that first win back here at a ground they know very well.
Yeah, absolutely. Good afternoon. Certainly, obviously, in recent years, I think the guys have found that the brand of cricket that we played has certainly produced some positive results here. So I think, given the circumstances and given the guys, pretty desperate to find the wins, and I think it's great for us to come here and hopefully put on a good performance.
Hampshire, big win against Sussex in the last game. Of course, Middlesex have already played them down at the Aegeus. The victory it was for Hampshire in that one. The strong side always, and no surprise when they went all the way last year. They're an experienced set up with pretty much all bases covered, aren't they, Hampshire?
Yeah, definitely. They're a strong team. Obviously, particularly they've got a lot of consistency, I'd say, at the top of their order, mixed in with I think Nathan Ellis has come in and really made an impact with his sort of international standard of death bowling as well, with some decent spin options. So certainly, they've got pretty good experience in there, and also some young guys, I guess, to give a bit of energy and gives them a good opportunity for a bit of freshness as well.
Neil Baton and Rob Bailey, the umpires out in the middle. Wayne Noon is the match referee for this one. And there's Jack Davis skipping into shot with the gloves on, ready to go. So James Vince and Ben McDermott on their way out to open, formidable opening pair. And in fact, it was here a couple of years ago against Vince that I saw Blake Cullen for the first time. Really an incredible spell of bowling from him that night, and really troubled Vince with his pace.
Yeah, certainly, and I think Blakey coming back from an injury, obviously that he had last year, and certainly I think the Blast, he probably took a little bit of time this season to make sure he was up to speed, and the Blast came at a really good time for him. He sort of looked like he was really starting to gather a bit of momentum, and yeah, he's looked like he's sort of freeing up nicely and running in with good intensity. So hopefully we'll see a bit of that again today. Tom
Helm to open us up from the pavilion end. He's got 2 slips in place, a gully, deep point cover and a mid-off, mid-on, deep square and short fine leg. He's just orchestrating that deep square. What's the change going to be? It's gully dropping back to deep third, so point comes up inside the circle. Here's Helm to McDermott with the first ball. Bit of shape on that one. Pace and bounce. Did think that was a smile on his face as he turned. He enjoyed that first delivery.
Yeah, well, I think certainly Helmy's one of those guys that there aren't too many of them in the country who sort of seems to find it pretty easy to get some shape with the new ball. So certainly I think up front, first over, maybe a little bit beyond, he's always looking to be nice and attacking and see if he can bring those slips into play.
That's well fielded. It's beautiful work from Helm for his own bowling, tumbling forward.
I think that's something as well. You come to Radlett and places like this, I think, with the power that they've got, that you're going to have to be bang on it, both with your skill-wise bowling, but also in the field, and look to find as many ways you can to restrict the runs and try and bring about some errant shots at some point.
There's that movement again. Single down to deep third, but Helm will really enjoy what we've seen in the early couple of deliveries here so far.
Always a very popular area, I find, early on here at Radlett. Just that little bit of uncertainty with the bounce. Third man always feels like it's a crucial position, particularly with the outfield as it is.
There's 91 that these two put on against Middlesex at the Ageas before McDermott was out. Caught Holman off the bowling of Fernandez. 39 for him from 29 deliveries, but 88 unbeaten from Vince from 55. Oh, got a glove to it, Davis, but not enough. That one really did go away. Down the leg side, 4 wides.
Yeah, it looked like might have got the wrong side of that one there, Helmy. Certainly seemed to just carry on going once it was drifting down leg. And yeah, I think even if you had a 6-foot wicket keeper, he might not have stopped that. But certainly, yeah, Jack Davies with his arm span certainly isn't getting that.
A polite way of saying he's not the tallest there.
He's a keeper. He's not supposed to be.
2 to come with the opening over. Live at Radlett. The stream courtesy of iShares.
You've seen there as well. I think that length there is going to be key from the opening bowlers today. Looks like it'll be hard work. Just back of a length. Try and make these guys force it and hopefully make a mistake early.
There's a good example of it once more. What is it about Radlett? Because it has been a home advantage ground for Middlesex, really, hasn't it? And you know, even the younger players have said to me, the funny thing is, you get an overseas pro and he comes up and he puts his arm around you and he wants to know something about Radlett because obviously you guys have played here so much.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say there's any one thing in particular. I think it's one of those grounds where it is small in its nature, but it's probably the pitch doesn't always make it the easiest to clear the fences, so it's probably ground you need to be smart at.
It's up in the air and just past backward point. First boundary off the bat into the opening over. 10 without loss.
Certainly, I feel like we've had a decent success at times here, defending totals, maybe trying to force the opposition to feel the need to maybe overhit or to try and feel like they need to push a little bit too early. And sometimes that's not always as easy as it looks here. And also, I think having that confidence, you know, once you start getting a bit of momentum at a ground, and obviously it sort of all adds to it, and yeah, it certainly adds to the belief that guys have, knowing that we can also chase anything as well as defend most things. So that always sort of adds to the belief, and yeah, hopefully that'll be something that the guys can use today.
Blake Cullen from Salsfield Ends. It was this end bowling to Vince, where I remember I was sat side on at square leg because of COVID times watching him bowl for the first time. And his pace on a bouncy track, that surface really caused problems. That even a single for McDermott brings Vince onto strike.
Yeah, and again on these type of wickets, if on any sort of club ground or out ground, I think holding that length is key. Particularly early on to these guys, both, you know, good stroke makers. Want to make sure that you don't let them get away too early.
Stephen Eskenazi, the captain, just changing fields, bringing out slip, which is Cracknell, putting him in at a short cover point, really. It's a backward point, deep third, extra cover and a mid-off on the offside. Leg side from Cullen, but straight to the fielder in the deep. Josh De Carey's. Home ground for De Carey's, the Radlett cricketer. Again, so many of the Middlesex second 11 know this ground so well here at Radlett. Use of the feet. Oh, and clears Eskenazi. For a moment, he had a couple of steps thinking, could he get involved with it? But McDermott gets enough of it. His first boundary.
Yeah, he looked like he was maybe just a couple of yards inside the ring there, Stevie. I'm not sure if we'll see on the replay. Yeah, he was. And yeah, obviously trying to sort of add a bit of pressure, trying to, you know, keep things nice and tight. And yeah, he's a big boy, McDermott, and unfortunately the miss hit just clears him.
Sharply back past Cullen. Fingertips to it, that would have hurt. Back-to-back boundaries for Hampshire. Wow, I didn't realise quite where it went back past him. That was a nasty one for Cullen.
Yeah, and I think the immediate shout's there for the physio. I'm not sure if that's maybe something's split or whether...
Yeah, a bit of bloods on his ring finger, I think. Not nice.
No, it certainly was hit back with a lot of power. And I think, yeah, particularly these days in 2020, there's always that risk running in and bowling yourself off your feet of the ball coming straight back and, yeah, sort of causing a bit of injury or having a bit of an impact. I think looking at Blakey there, I think he's sort of confident he'll be all right and just actually needs a bit of a clean up or something like that.
Pete Waxman, the Middlesex physio. That's 10-2 Cullen. So Hampshire have 3 wins so far in this group. Just looking back over their matches, they lost 2 of their first 3. But if you flip that round, they've won 3 of their last 4. So a big game for them tonight after that big victory against Sussex the other day. Defeat for Middlesex at Bristol.
Yeah, and they struggled in that game down at Taunton, didn't they, where they got bowled out cheaply, and certainly struggled to kind of get going there. And I think since then, obviously, Vince has sort of found a particularly rich vein of form, and obviously they've got enough players around him to really sort of pad that out and to sort of utilise that well. So yeah, certainly a dangerous side.
Yeah, Vince got 1 at Taunton since then. 88 unbeaten against Middlesex, 88 unbeaten against Surrey, 103 at Chelmsford, and then that victory against Sussex, 71 unbeaten. Extraordinary, almost Eskenazi-like form.
Yeah, it is, and certainly I think he has always been one of those guys who, when he hits a purple patch, certainly he can really kind of, draw that out and make it count. So he's obviously going to be someone who is going to be particularly important for us to kind of find a way of dismissing him, I guess, trying to stay nice and attacking.
There again, just that bounce, that little bit of movement, that length. It did look all the way as though that was going to be leg side and a simple tuck for McDermott, but it never is that simple, as you say, at Radlett sometimes.
I think it's always the case. I think, bowling wise, you know that there's a good chance that there's going to be a few leaked runs here and there, but you also know that exactly that off your length, and it can be hard to get away, and it can sort of make the batsman feel like they're unsure whether to get forward, back, and what shots to play.
Another example of it, not picking it up that cleanly just yet out in the middle. That's the end of the second, and 11 off it. Hampshire put in 21 without loss. Yeah, McDermott not short of form either. Mentioned that partnership with Vince against Middlesex.
I mean, it does feel like a partnership that complements itself pretty nicely, doesn't it? You've got one guy who probably is a bit more of a stroke maker, and one guy who tends to try and bludgeon the ball a bit more and try to kind of use a bit more strength and I guess kind of muscle it over the fences. So I guess that's sort of part of why they've been so successful.
Off spin into the attack early, Josh de Carey's from the pavilion end, replacing Tom Helm. Slants that one across. That's a good piece of fielding by Ryan Higgins. Excellent piece of fielding in there.
Yeah, nice to see this as well from Eski. I think it's always nice to mix up the tempo a bit, and Josh bowled really nicely in and out of the power play, I thought, in Bristol. So hopefully he can find us an early wicket.
Cry catch it and taken. Eskenazi has the catch at mid-off. The skipper brings on the off spinner. And Carey's gets the chance offered up to Eskenazi. The end of Vince, gone for 5. His run comes to an end at Radlett. Crucial breakthrough for Middlesex.
Absolutely, and I guess when you look at things, you're probably thinking with James Vince, you know, that it's going to be hard to contain him with just 2 back with an off spinner coming on. But you know, that is T20. You've got to, I guess, put yourself out there, take risks, and know that actually, you know, nothing's ever going to be certain. And certainly that's paid off there. And good catch by Eski in the end, still coming hard and flat there.
Just the start Middlesex would have wanted. And the local boy, Josh de Carey, is he bulked up a bit in the winter? Just looking at him on when he's turning to bowl there, it seems like those shoulders have got a little bit broader.
Yeah, I think that is fair to say, and I think he sort of was with us, I guess, for the most part. A bit up and down still with his uni stuff, but certainly he has. And you know, I think particularly from the bowling side, he's always been someone who's been a smart bowler, if you like, and certainly had the intelligence, I guess, to play the one-day game.
Wristily worked by Albert out to deep square. Peter Milan doing the fielding. Brings McDermott back onto strike. An unbeaten 50 for McDermott in the victory against Sussex. Just let's give himself a little bit of room there. Comes off the pad for a dot ball. Toby Albert, 22 in November, Basingstoke boy. 16 T20s, 1 or 2 changes. Crane and Fuller making way for Donald's returning, and Turner. Single out to deep mid-wicket, which means Albert wasn't one of the changes. My apologies, I was confusing Turner. But yeah, Albert with top score of 38 in 11 innings in T20 cricket. Hit back hard as well. Boundary for Albert. Nicely struck. Good into the over for Hampshire, but a wicket at the start for de Carey's.
Yeah, and really important that. I think any time you're playing here, taking wickets is always going to be crucially important. Not the easiest place for guys to start an innings. So I think, you know, taking wickets at regular intervals throughout is always going to be key. And once guys get in, then they can certainly start to get a better feel for the wicket. So hopefully that's something that we'll sort of find a way to do as we go through the innings. Still stay nice and positive, and yeah, try and break as many partnerships as possible.
Helms back at the Salters Field end. Placing Cullen at the far end from where we're sat, just watching the fields. Up comes Davis. Oh, is he? I was about to say he was just orchestrating point. I was thinking that was brave.
Just ushering cover round, I think, a little bit.
Wow. My heart was in my mouth for him for a moment. I thought he was going to stand up there. Were you playing in the match here a few years back when trying to remember the overseas Australian all-rounder in 2018 that Middlesex had. He got struck right in the grill. Hilton Cartwright got smashed in the grill, didn't he, by a ball that climbed off a length. And as Owen Morgan said to me, yeah, Hilton basically ate one. Edged. Oh, nearly stops. Just gets past.
I don't think I was playing in that game. The fact that I can't remember it exactly probably means I wasn't here either. I think so. Certainly the back end of that year was the second time that my back had gone. So I think, yeah, I only played a handful of games with Hilts at the start of that year, and yeah, spent the rest of it kind of either rehabbing or holidaying, and then taking a mitt round for the end of the season.
That's right on the spot here at the moment. Boundary. A blow, of course, but not the bowler's fault. Right on the spot. Interesting you mentioned about having third back. Pretty much for that reason, wasn't it? You know, the good ball flies for a 4.
Yeah, it is, and it's one of the things that I think is really tricky for guys in the power play now, with how good guys are off back of a length.
Goes after that one and gets hold of it. Big shot all the way over the deep square.
Yeah, good pick up there, an example of the power that McDermott does have. Didn't feel like he got every part of that, and it's gone plenty far enough, hasn't it, to sort of clear the spectators there and into the fence.
Out towards the train track. McDermott onto 22.
And I think these are the interesting parts for bowlers. I think you have to kind of accept those shots sometimes. You're trying to bowl a good length, and perhaps Helmy might think that that one was a fraction shot shorter, but you know, those are the shots that you're trying to draw out of an opening batsman, to try and take risk and see if it can result in a wicket.
Just a single. Briggs Albert onto strike for the first time against Helm. One ball to come of the over. Oh, look at that fly. Just short of Peter Melander, short third. Single to end the over, but bounce for Helm, flying off the shoulder.
Yeah, and that's the exact delivery which, you know, creates that little bit of uncertainty in the batsman's mind. So, you know, good length again there from Helmy, and probably a little bit unlucky to go for as many he did in that over, but still looked a threat throughout. And yeah, another chance here for Josh De Keres to hopefully find a breakthrough.
Nathan Fernandez coming on for Helm. He's charged straight off. I don't think a problem. The physio was there. Neither of them look particularly concerned. A comfort break, perhaps. De Keres gets the second over, having picked up a wicket in the last. Oh, but smashed one back past De Keres. Tries to give himself room to think about something similar again.
Yeah, again well bowled. He's a good watcher of the batsman, Joshy, and yeah, certainly knows how to defend field well.
Scampered single, deep square and deep mid wicket, 2 back for De Keres to the right hander. And change that for McDermott, which will be deep mid wicket and long on.
Yeah, you feel like something might happen in the next few balls here with McDermott, whether it's boundary or a wicket. Something feels like it's going to have to happen.
That goes into the car park. Mind your windscreens back there.
Yeah, certainly hit that clean there, McDermott. One of the hardships about playing here is you can set a field, but if guys do hit the ball clean, then the boundaries are never going to be big enough to contain guys, certainly with the power of McDermott. So still needs to stay nice and positive here, Joshy. You know, if he decides to go again, does bring an element of risk still.
Oh, Bailey has a check of the ball, they're good to go. Close for De Keres to track that one down. Single for McDermott. Was it your window that got smashed by Nick Gubbins years ago at Uxbridge?
Yeah, it was actually, yeah.
Rear window, front window?
Yeah, I think it was one of the back windows, yeah. Which was, yeah.
Off Overton's bowling, wasn't it?
Yeah, one of those where, because I did enjoy the shot, I wasn't too annoyed, to be honest. But
I'm sure.
Yeah, not ideal when I suddenly realised I had to get it sorted. But luckily, the club insurance was all in place. So yeah.
Short again. This one's flat batted and flat batted well as well. It's well placed by Albert. Gets it fine, a cracknell at deep mid wicket. It's the 50 up at the end of the 5th.
Good example, I think, in that over of where Radlett can be quite hard to defend. You know, it just takes one good shot, you know, one maybe slightly shorter ball, and both have a good opportunity of being punished, and feels like it's hard to stop the batsman once they get into that groove and find a bit of momentum. So
first over for Martin Anderson, the last of the power play. He replaces Helm at Salters Field end. He's bowled well, Anderson.
yeah, he has had a good campaign so far, Martin. Certainly been nice and positive, and when he's needed to, he's executed. You know, he's got a nice mixture of skills, and he's executed well. So it's been good to see.
Up their first ball again. Seemed as though there's a little bit of movement on that one for Anderson. Just straight to the fielder. Did through the air seem as though again that one just had a little bit of late swing on it.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that one might have been Martin's knuckleball he's been working on a little bit, and certainly I think one of his skills this year is he's not been shy of going to his variations nice and early.
Up in the air. Big pick-up by Albert. 6 runs. His first 6 of the innings.
Maybe looked like pace off again there from Martin, but unfortunately just a little bit too full of a length, and just allowed the batsman just to free his arms.
Well bowled. Albert stepping across makes his intention clear. Anderson just pushed it that little bit wider. Yeah, there's no room for error here for the bowler at all, is there, Radlett? The other thing to bear in mind is that the pitch is very much on top of a mound, isn't it? As soon as it's gone past that infield, it's down the slope wherever it's going around the ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
Straight to Higgins at extra cover. One to come of the power play. 7 off the over so far.
And as you're saying there, certainly square of the wicket, it feels like the ball does run away, you know, particularly quickly. So, you know, as important as anything is finding those little pockets, and once you pierce the infield, then yeah, it can be pretty hard to stop.
Slapped hard, straight him it off. 11 off the over, end of the power play. 63 for 1. Just didn't quite get the length right on those couple that Albert managed to get away.
No, and it's been a good recovery, I think, from Hampshire. They've obviously, you know, looked to still be nice and positive, and like you said, probably been able to maximise any time that the bowlers have missed slightly on the fuller side, which probably suggests that it's still a decent wicket, if not a little bit tricky. I think just when it's back of a length, looks like hardest to score off.
Luke Holman into the attack. Looks as though he thought he was into the attack on a different day. Not quite as sunny as that.
Yeah, he's picked the cloudiest day of the week to slather himself with some sun cream.
War paint, I'm sure he'll tell us.
Yeah, it's always up there. It's always up there.
Nice start from Holman, just a single for McDermott onto the spot from the leg spinner straight away. again from Holman. Nicely on the spot where he needs to be. McDermott trying to hit him off that spot.
Yeah, and again, that's that sort of stick or twist mentality where you know that, you know, it can be tricky if they get hold of it.
Straight to the short fine leg. I did fancy he might go with the quicker ball. Just dragged it down slightly, so got away with it.
Yeah, and I think it's important here for Lukey just to hold his nerve, stay, you know, with that slightly fuller length.
And again, well bowled. Excellent start to the over here from the leg spinner. What does Albert make of it? 3-dot balls. Long off, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep square. And deep point, not required there though, straight to backward point.
Really well bowled this from Lukey. He's mixed up his pace nicely, generally held his length pretty well and made it tough for the batsman just to rotate.
It's outside the line of off. Big appeal. Can't believe it. And there's umpire Bailey, I think, saying just that. Brilliant over though, just the one off it. 7 done.
Yeah, overs like that are key for wrestling back a little bit of that momentum as well. When they've just had a good finish to the power play, to you know, bowl the 7th and to really wrestle a bit of initiative, put a little bit of pressure back on them. They'll probably be feeling like they want to try and aim for something around the 200 mark, I'd guess, 180 to 200. So yeah, certainly lovely start there from Luke.
Cullen back once again from Saltersfield end, where he started up. And the decision to field first for Middlesex, I guess that's part of it, isn't it? Saying to Hampshire, right, you don't know this pitch, you go and set a score on it.
Yeah, and I think here generally is a place where it can be both. You know, if you bat first, there is an opportunity to post something that's pretty significant and make it hard to chase. But on the flip side, it can feel like it's very hard to contain as well if you haven't got enough on the board.
Saw bowl again by Cullen. There's that length and that pace.
Certainly, we've found that, you know, we've had, you know, both sides of it, I guess, where when we've set good totals, we've enjoyed defending and felt like it makes life pretty tricky. But also knowing that, you know, if we can bowl well up front and restrict the team to say 160 on a wicket like this, that if we get off to a good start, it can be hard to contain.
Oh, it's really well bowled. Bumped back over the bowler's head. They will get a single for it.
Yeah, been a great 9 balls since the power play. Like I said, really important to grab little pockets of momentum when you can, and certainly these 9 balls, I think, you know, between Blake and Luke have managed to hold their lengths particularly well, and looks like it's been really tough to get away.
Oh, adventurous, well played. Manoeuvred it in the end. Cullen did well, followed him wide outside the off stump. Looked to go for the Yorker, but Albert's adapted.
Yeah, good shot. Obviously, you know, third man, you could see there the adjustment that Blake has made to follow him, and yeah, he's dealt with it particularly well. He's nearly off the edge of the track there, and yeah, unfortunately just got a little tickle on it there, just to go through very fine of third man and run away for 4.
Same again, scoops him all the way. Brilliant from Albert. He's on to 31 from 19.
Yeah, another great shot. I think again, you know, the pressure that had been built has kind of resulted in the batsman having to find something different, and you know, hats off to him. He's managed to execute particularly well there with scoops on either side of the wicket, which is particularly hard to set fields for if they go that fine. So
50 partnership for the second wicket as well. Oh, now on the right hand. He's taken one on the left, now one on the right. It's a bowler's life in T20 cricket. End of the 8th, 75 for 1.
You got nowhere to go when both hands have gone. So, yeah, hopefully that one hit closer to the centre and just stings for 5 minutes or so.
Solid partnership from 34 deliveries now. 53 runs.
Yeah, and again we're seeing the importance, like we mentioned earlier, about the importance of wickets and finding ways to break these partnerships. Once guys find a bit of momentum, then it can feel hard to stop them.
Just managed to get it through past Eskenazi at extra cover, thinking about the second, but settling on the 1. Cracknell doing the fielding. Looks like they found a decent player in Albert. Yeah, 21 years of age from Basingstoke. Bit of a drag from McDermott, just a single out to Holden at deep mid-wicket.
Yeah, I can't say that I've seen much of Albert before, but obviously so far we've seen a mixture of those scoops and also some good shots down the ground as well. So yeah, certainly started off nicely here.
Should just be a single. Holman started really well here, just 1 off the first over. Three back on the onside, deep square, deep mid-wicket, long on. That goes in the air to the short third, and Albert goes, caught by Anderson. Fine little cameo from Albert. Good partnership for the second wicket. Brilliant bowling again from Holman.
Yeah, well deserved that from Luke there. You know, his lengths, you know, from ball 1 have been immaculate, and he's made life really tricky for the guys to put him away and to find their attacking options. So yeah, he's managed to draw a bit of a full shot there, something different out the batter, and held his nerve and yeah, got absolutely what he deserves.
I think it was towards the end of the last over you said you just fancy something's got to give. Well, it does now for Hampshire, and they couldn't really let Holman continue to bowl as he was. They had to try something. Well, with that attempt comes risk.
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of those grounds, like I said, with its dimensions, you don't feel like you can ever have too long a period against one particular bowler where you're not, you know, finding ways to put pressure on him or to find the boundary. So when you do find little passages like Luke has done there, then it really does bring about, I guess, a bit of a you or me situation. And fortunately for Luke, he's held his nerve there, and like I said, absolutely deserved it.
So Joe Weatherly replaces Albert. Single first ball for Weatherly. And a single to end the over. Absolutely brilliant from Holman. Just 5 off it. 1 for 6 off his 2. 80 for 2 at the end of the 9th.
Yeah, brilliant from Luke, and he's had a couple of games, I feel like, this year where he's probably not got what he deserved, as well as a few where he's been a little bit frustrated at the odd miss here or there. So it's nice to see him, you know, bowling really nicely. And you know, I guess in cricket it always comes around eventually if you stick to doing the right things. So certainly, yeah, those first 2 overs seem to be a good example of that.
It makes it easier or harder for him being a young leg spinning all rounder. In the, you know, does he wear it heavily if one isn't going well?
I think it is, yeah, a bit of both. It certainly is hard because the game always finds its way coming back to results, but it's also, you know, a case of staying as level as he can and knowing that some days the batsman does have a good day, and yeah, a lot of the time that he'll find himself with his all-round ability being able to impact the game on either side of it.
Good start from Higgins right up there on the off stump. He gets a bowl at Bristol.
But it's you know, it's a difficult art, leg spin, and you know, quite unique, I think, in its standing in the game. And yeah, I guess it does have sometimes a little bit of added pressure on it.
Thinking two, should comfortably be a couple to carries. He's quick, and good arm as well, but easily two.
And often I think a lot of the you know, any young spinner, you know, whether it's finger spin or leg spin, sometimes that sort of first few years in the games is much sort of learning the mental side and, you know, the sort of tactical side rather than all the technical, really.
Nice again from Higgins, just a single. Weatherly has scored unbeaten 6 in the game against Middlesex, 9 against Surrey at Southampton, 29 at Chelmsford. Not required to bat in that 10-wicket victory against Sussex. Also managed 3 in the first game at Taunton when well, it all went wrong for Hampshire pretty quickly. Bowled out for just 74, 8-wicket victory with 63 balls to spare for Somerset. Hampshire are all done in 16.1 overs, top score of 18 from Ross Whiteley. Another decent ball on a length. The lengths have been immaculate really today for Middlesex, haven't they?
Yeah, it feels like, you know, in the main part, certainly pretty simple game plan when on a pitch like this, just to hold back of a length with the odd change of pace. And yeah, I think key moments like this where there is a new batter in, it's crucially important to make sure that you don't give them too much to work with, and this has been a perfect example of that so far from Ryan.
Higgins sets off. This is to ensure it's just a single.
Yeah, always full of energy, right? Any opportunity to go run and chase it like a madman, he'll take up. So good to see.
A single to end the over. Good comeback here from Middlesex. Higgins goes for just 5 off his first over. The halfway stage, 84, 85 now for 2. Hampshire haven't been put in.
Yeah, and I think at this halfway stage, you know, you're always, like I said, we do know the ground here, but you're always got to be prepared to sort of adjust and sort of make sure you assess the conditions. And certainly, you know, it looks like just the most basic game plan of just back of a length looks like it's really tricky for the guys at the moment. Try and make the batsman hit you off it and see if you can frustrate them, I guess, into a mistake.
Interesting to see that worm there, just one decent over in the last 4 for Hampshire, so very much feels like this could be a big over one way or the other. With 8 wickets standing, they're not going to want to leave runs out there.
Yeah, one of the trickier periods this for the set batter as well, because he knows that it's his job to go a bit deeper now.
Goes first ball, goes big and goes all the way. Holden has a look for a moment, but that thumps into the Portaloo. Hope there was nobody in there.
Yeah. Good strike that there from McDermott. Probably again, like we said, the fuller ball is the one that's just maybe been a little bit more hittable there. But yeah, it's a good strike. And again, example of the set batter finding it a little bit easier.
Right on the roof. Not quite the scene from Jurassic Park when the dinosaur lifts off the the lid of the porter cabin. Would have given somebody quite the shock though. Is it a replacement ball? It is. That one gone? Bounced off into the... Or is it just that they've checked the ball that's been retrieved? Good length inside edge. Down but on to 47. Weatherly on strike.
Yeah, and you feel like it's going to be crucial now in these next sort of 3 to 4 overs that Middlesex can find a way to get McDermott out and to keep getting those fresh batters in at the moment, particularly as we move towards the back end.
350s in 50 T20 innings for Weatherly. Excellent from Anderson. Winchester-born, 26-year-olds.
Yeah, it feels like he's never someone who's necessarily nailed down a place, I guess, in their T20 team, but definitely has had moments and made impacts along the way. I think seem to remember he had a decent day, or remember him a little bit from finals day last year. And certainly I think someone who seems fairly reliable if he does come in as a replacement, or like he is at the moment, first choice.
Just seems to be executing a little bit better this evening. We're reading too much into it, Middlesex. It just seems as though the bowling just seems to be hitting the spot more often than not tonight.
Yeah, and again, maybe having that little bit of clarity on Radlett just adds a little bit of assurance, I guess, to game plans, and guys will be pretty confident that they know what the best options are.
Slow ball. Gets through everything.
Yeah, good change up there from Mark. That back of a length has been really successful, and often a batter will expect you to stick around there if it's proving tricky to get away, so sometimes a little bit of a surprise there.
6 off the first ball of the over, then a single, 3 dot balls. Here comes the last one. Oh, leading edge. Singles finish. 2 to Carey's at point. Weatherly keeps the strike. He's on 3 from 7. Middlesex won't mind that at all, that he'll be on strike for the start of the 12th. Be a little bit of pressure on him to make sure that the runs start ticking. 93 for 2. You mentioned perhaps McDermott plays more of the anchor role here and plays the long game. They're going to have to play around him. If he does, they're going to have to get going, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. And I think he's someone who, as long as he's at the crease, is always going to be aggressive, and he's always going to find a way of scoring boundaries. So, you know, that's something which we're going to need to apply pressure to Weatherly as well, to make sure that McDermott feels like he might have to do a little bit more. And yeah, hopefully, you know, that swings a bit of risk in our favour.
Holman from Saltersfield end. Led by first up. First over from the far end from where we're sat for Holman. Oh, now some real turn there from the leg spinner. You can see McDermott just reacting to it. Very nearly dollied one back. Inside out. And gone! Long off takes the catch. Cracknell's underneath it. McDermott goes for 47. This is brilliant from Holman. He's got 2 for 7.
Absolutely, and again, it's, I think, the length from Holman which has been absolutely vital. Just not allowed them to have any sort of free shot or to put their hands through the ball, and ultimately there, I think, building a bit of pressure on Weatherly has really sort of added to, I guess, McDermott feeling like he needed to go, and good catch by Cracknell there at mid-off.
He took one of the best catches you'll see at Merchant Taylor School last week. That one was a little bit more comfortable, but certainly with plenty of pressure on it. The danger man goes McDermott. 94 for 3.
And it's felt like he's had really good energy through the crease here today, Luke. He really bowled with good intent, and looked like he, you know, I guess has an extra spring in his step, looks confident, and certainly it's showing in the way that the ball's coming out. It's been great to watch.
Not to be back-to-back 50s for McDermott then. Ross Whiteley comes in at 5.
I do worry this means the war paint is here to stay, though, unfortunately.
What's the cricketing version of a cold Tuesday night in Stoke in February?
Most cricketers are pretty superstitious folk, so yeah, if he carries on in this vein and manages to get another one, then yeah, you could see him with white cheeks for the rest of the summer.
Will he do this on a cold Monday at Chesley Street
yeah.
in April, though?
Yeah.
Swept in the air. Oh, fine. Up to Carey's for 4. 99 on the boards.
Again, didn't look fully in control of that Weatherly. Lukey just making it challenging enough to find that attacking option. But as we know, square here, if it's not directly at the man, you're always going to get good value for runs. But you should be happy with that, Lukey.
First boundary conceded, 5th ball of this third over.
I think it might be, yeah.
Oh, goes for the reverse. Dot ball's finish. 6 off the over, 2 for 12 from 3. It's been outstanding from Holman.
Or was there maybe one maximum? I think McDermott might have hit one maximum as well. But when you factor those in, it arguably makes it more impressive that he's been able to string together so many dot balls, I think, is the key thing.
99 for 3 after 12. It's a dangerous time now for Hampshire.
Yeah, and I think Eski here, seeing that, you know, a left-hander coming in, having only faced one ball, good chance for the off-spinner to come on and try and see if he can make life a little bit tricky for him early on.
34 years of age now, Ross Whiteley. Sheffield lad.
Yeah, I was at Leeds at the same time as Ross. Played in the MCCU stuff a little bit together.
.92 T20s for Whiteley. 650s, top scorer 91. Strike rate of nearly 140.
Again, that's been another feature, I think, from the fielding this evening, is being able to cut off those singles, just adds that extra bit of pressure.
Swept in the air. Swept straight to deep backward square. Anderson holds on. Middlesex have a 4th. Pressure building on Hampshire here at Radlett.
Yeah, it really is great rewards. We mentioned about saving those singles, and it just adds that little bit of pressure there. Stops the strike rotating and probably forces the batsman there into a full shot. So no, it's been, you know, really good patch this, from a mixture of, I guess, the spin and the seam, just finding ways of adding little pockets of pressure and making it tricky to hit. So really good patch here, and 4 wickets down now makes it a little bit tricky for Hampshire here to know whether to stick or twist.
But it really has been quite the team bowling performance from Middlesex as well, where in the last couple of matches, to be fair, you kind of looked back and thought someone needs to stick their hand up and be that player, be that man on the day. It's been a team effort so far with the ball.
Yeah, and I think we saw positives in that performance at Gloucester as well. I think, you know, generally I think a lot of those guys will feel like they bowled pretty well, and we were probably only 10 under par and maybe two better overs away from really being the right side of that game. So feels like it's just a little bit of a progression on from that, and like you said, to a man, I think the guys have been excellent.
And you're in Donald back into the sides. Can he get back into the runs? Single first ball. 26 years of age now, Swansea born. 5 T20 50s and 56 innings. Top score of 76.
Two new batters here as well. It feels like that really gives us a great opportunity here to further add to it and build some extra pressure.
Into the 13th wicket for Takaris, and a catch for Anderson. So 13 gone, 102 for 4. 7 overs to go. The defending champions won't go down without a fight here. Middlesex certainly will be pretty pleased with their match position at the moment.
Yeah, I think we've got Blake Cullen coming on here to, I guess, try and see if we can find another breakthrough. Almost, you know, having got a couple of quicker wickets there, try and use Blakey here to see if he can find us another one that would really, I guess, you know, crack it open and yeah, I guess get us halfway there.
Single worked into the onside. It's nice again from Cullen. It's something that we picked up really early. He talked about in terms of Radlett being a pitch where if you hit your length, you get good reward as a seamer.
Yeah, and probably on a day like this, the skill is almost to not complicate things too much. At times, variety is key and keeping the batter guessing, whereas a day like this, I think nice and simple and make him hit you off your best length.
Uppishly pushed to mid-on, didn't go fully through with it though. Donald, just a single.
No, and you sense that these two again feel the need to just rebuild a little bit here. I think the modern game, obviously, you know, guys are more positive and try not to have too many periods where the scoring rate drops, but you feel like here it's crucial that they don't take too many risky options.
Single walk brings Donald back onto strike. Yeah, he went on loan. Donald's due to the injury to Brooke Guest's hamstring injury, so he went on loan to Derbyshire. And, world record innings, Sydney, 234 from just 136 deliveries. Glamorgan against Derbyshire in 2016 before his switch from Wales to Southampton. Lifted in the air, cry of catch, and he's gone. Brilliant catch at fine leg. Takari's holds on. Wicket for Cullen, and that's the end of Donald. Just 2 to his name, and Hampshire in the 14th need to be very careful here. They're 105 for 5.
Yeah, great bowling there from Blake, using the fact that he could have his men back and utilise that short ball, and also, I guess, a word for Esky there, recognising that, you know, bringing on one of your strike bowlers, if you like. Just seeing it there, great catch as well. But yeah, seeing Blakey as a strike bowler, which he certainly is, we've seen that over a number of years now, that he's always got a chance of taking wickets, and yeah, recognising that scenario and managing to get him in at the right time is yeah, obviously, you know, paid dividends there.
That reminded me very much of that first time that I saw him side on here at Radlett, and his pace and bounce from Salters Field end really causing trouble to Vince, I mentioned that night.
Yeah, and definitely he's someone when he gets his legs pumping and he gets through the crease, he certainly does crank it up to a pretty good number, and obviously can be a little bit awkward, I think, more than anything, and sort of hard to really know where the ball's coming from exactly and to line it up, which adds to him.
Wood, the new batter for Hampshire, in at number 7. Last ball of Cullen's third over, 1 for 24. That's nicely bowled. Top ball off the stumps from Woods. 105 for 5 at the end of the over, so Donald's gone. Caught by DeCary's for 2. 105 for 5 off 14. And at one point we were saying that Hampshire would very much have in mind somewhere around 200. It's a long way off right now. They'll be thinking just to get somewhere towards 160, I guess, at this stage.
Yeah, and I think probably this innings so far just highlights the importance of partnerships on a ground like this, how hard it is when you're starting up as a batsman, and probably the need to give yourself a little bit of time and to make sure that wickets don't fall in clusters.
Down the grounds and all the way. Cracknell watches it fly.
Good strike. He's a strong lad, Ross Whiteley, and I think he backs himself to clear most fences around the country. But in this situation now, he's an experienced cricketer who's played, you know, a decent amount of cricket around the world, and often those guys are the ones who have been in these scenarios the most amount of times and find the right mixture of being attacking whilst rebuilding, I guess.
Chris Woods, another Basingstoke-born cricketer for Hampshire. Churn him out from Basingstoke. It was Sean Udall's old club as well, wasn't it? Middlesex captain.
Yeah, that's right. Handed me my first class and my one-day debut, Shaggy. So yeah, certainly was captain in the first year that I joined. That was his last year at the club.
Two taken. Rightly on to 14. Yeah, all the best to Sean Udall if he's tuned in. Two former counties. England Test cricketer as well. A T20 winner. The Aegeus Bowl, or the Rose Bowl as it was back then in 2008.
Yeah, and when I was there, it's obviously the swan song, I guess, of his career, and well into his 40s then, but he was still a really fine spinner at that stage.
The grief he used to get off Tim Murtagh for being an old man at that point.
Yeah, don't worry. The world has brought that right back around to Murtagh right now. He's got a number of early 20s lads who give it right back to him now every day. So.
For the heave, didn't get hold of it at all. Actually saved him in the end, all along the floor, dragged to deep square. Into the 15th, 117 for 5. Wasn't it to Carey's? Played in a match last year, and Murtagh had taken a few, and somebody put it to him at the end of the match that when Murtagh had taken his first-class wicket, to Carey's wasn't even born.
I don't know if that is the case, but I think there's more than one in our squad who that might well be the case for. So, yeah, it's certainly, you know, funny, I guess, when you look back on things like that, and when Mert starts discussing about the years that he started in, and you look around the room and think that some of the guys weren't born then yeah, it's pretty mad to think.
Got a feeling, would it have been the Durham game? I'll have a look now and see if that was De Carey's debut. That one gets through, wide of mid-off, slapped away into the offside.
Yeah, maybe a little bit too much width there on offer from Blakey. I think when you're bowling at, you know, an all-rounder or bowler, yeah, you certainly want to stay away from allowing them to free their arms too much. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a bumper on offer, maybe to follow that up.
Dragged by Wood, should just be a single. Helm coming around from mid-on, so Whiteley on to strike. Two guys who followed in Roland Jones's footsteps, from Hampton School, Cullen, and from Leeds Uni, Ross Whiteley, although a little bit of a different time frame for Cullen.
Yeah, certainly. It's obviously sort of a very similar route for myself and Blake, and yeah, I don't know whether whether following my footsteps was too ideal around the time that I left school, but luckily he seems to have done it the smart way. And yeah, obviously been great to see him, you know, come up, and barring that injury he had last year, he's just always shown so much promise, and felt like he was on a steady rise. So I'm sure that'll carry on as he gets back to fitness this summer.
air. Safely down to long off for a single though. Two pictures that adorn the walls of Hampton School as you walk into the reception. On one side Toby Rowland-Jones, on the other Blake Cullen.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, but it feels like the teaching improved since I left, because he's a damn sight cleverer than I am. So.
Scientist, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
The Clark Kent about him.
Yeah, he's certainly smarter than you might think.
Oh, listen to that off the bat. Absolutely flies onto the tented roofs at Cow Corner. 6 runs. Just going shorter on that occasion. Length picked up by Wood. 13 off 6, just giving this innings a bit of a jolt. The Hawks need it. Back over his head, and 4 more. Cracknell can't get around at mid-off, neither can Long On. Another boundary, good over this for Hampshire. 16 off it so far.
Yeah, good striking from Wood, and obviously feels like a little bit of a momentum shift here. Just when we wrestled a fair bit of the initiative, obviously in T20 there's always going to be times where the opposition punch back. So key time to break this partnership and keep taking wickets.
Follows him. Woods manufactures it well to deep backward square, and Holman single taken. 1 to end the over, so 17 off it. 134 for 5 after 16 Hampshire. Woods' highest score in T20 is 27 from 65 innings. Still to come. Dawson, Curry, Ellis and Turner.
Yeah, I guess, Wood elevated just for exactly this, try and add a real quick impetus to the innings. Doesn't have to be too concerned about his responsibility, and yeah, see if he can make a difference.
Cut hard straight to the fielder. 135 for 5. Two overs for Helm, number 22, so he'll bowl the last 2 at Salters Field end. Ooh. Inside edge, run out of the non-striker's end. Higgins has time, he misses. He'd been gone by a mile. Oh, they'll get an overthrow. Had time to steady himself. Just couldn't find the target.
Too much time. Had enough time to miss it on both sides. So.
Cut straight to Holman at point again. Feels as though he's missed out there, Wood. He's on to 20.
Yeah, good this from Higo, bowling clearly to his field and with a plan in place. So feels like an important over this, with 2 left for Helm and 1 left, probably a toss up between Lukey, who's bowled brilliantly, and Martin Anderson.
Leg side off the hip to short fine leg. Just the leg by. Yeah, I was just going to work that out. So Helm's got 2 left, number 22 so far. Cullen bowled out 1 for 41. De Carey's bowled out 2 for 34. Good from him. Anderson's none for 19 from 2, while Holman is 2 for 12 from 3. But that means him bowling, what, the final over at this end? Throw out the non-strikers end. They're through. The throw misses anyway. The go spinner to bowl the 19th.
It's
Big
tricky,
call.
yeah. I mean, certainly he's been, you know, the hardest guy to get away, hasn't he? But with that extra bit of freedom, with it being so late in the innings, it might be a little bit risky, but certainly he's bowled particularly well. And
That's up in the air. Could be a wicket for Higgins. Dropped short. Deep backward square coming in. Max Hold'em. So Whiteley gets away with it. He's on to 18. Wood has 21. Whiteley keeps the strike. 3 overs to go here at Radlett. Hampshire put in. They're 140 for 5.
yeah, superb over there from Ryan. Like I said, looked like he really was clear on what he wanted to do. A lot of pace off, but making sure that he used the wicket that we said has been pretty tricky, back of a length, and yeah, looked like they've really struggled to hit the ball clean there.
So Higgins has gone for 9 off his 2. Does he bowl the 19th?
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of options. Certainly, yeah, Lukey will be feeling pretty hard done by if he doesn't finish his spell after bowling how he has done.
Good start for Helm. Ankles across Whiteley, looking to give himself room.
Yeah, excellent that from Tom. Really important that, you know, we finish well here after having such a strong period after that power play, really wrestling back the momentum and finding ways to take wickets. So important that these next 3 overs are kept to, you know, as low as possible, and I think anything that would end up under 170 would feel like a really good effort.
Up in the air. Safe though. Well inside the circle. Sanderson charges in from long off.
Yeah, another miss hit there from that back of a length. Good clubbing at the moment from Ross Whiteley. He's just finding ways to evade the fielders, so hopefully that doesn't give him an opportunity to get his eye in and start finding the middle of the bat.
Slow ball. It's a full toss and it's a good stop. It's great fielding by Holden. Gets the throw in early as well. They're back for the second, but outstanding work by Holden.
Yeah, it certainly feels like the performance in the field has been better, and you know, particularly here, it isn't always the easiest outfield, both with it being quick and a little bit uneven in patches. So it feels like we've really managed to execute well, both on the boundaries and in the ring, keeping the singles to a minimum. So it's been good so far.
Slow ball again. Just a single this occasion. Now they're going to come back for the second. There's a little bobble there, which Carey's had to be wary of. Protect the boundary. Allow them a couple. Well, still plenty can happen in the next 2.2 overs, but at the halfway stage, of course, it will only be a job half done, but Middlesex will be very happy with the way this has gone. Best innings, I'd assume, so far, from the top of my head anyway. C20 campaign so far this season. Oh, gets that one through. Another dot ball.
I think so, and I think, you know, best of all has been the combination of, I think the plans have been really clearly laid out, and then the execution has been pretty bang on as well. There's always going to be boundaries, always going to be good shots, but it looks like the guys really are clear in what they're trying to do, and on the most part have pulled it off. And
against the defending champions.
Yeah, and certainly you need wickets early against these guys, and to put pressure on their lower order, and I think we've done that. We've done that perfectly.
That's good again from Helm. We're just having to adapt a single down to long leg. End of the 18th. Helm goes for just the 6th. 6 off that over.
Yep, and those last 2 overs going for 12 is, you know, I think exactly what we'd have looked for as a team there, trying to minimise the boundaries and knowing that there's always going to be a chance that they can run a couple into these pockets in the outfield. But if you can really take down those boundary options, then then you really give yourself a chance of getting out of the over with as little damage as possible.
Higgins it is to bowl the final over, so that last over that he bowled, number 10 off 2 for Higgins. I think, what was it, the 17th that he bowled that ball in this over, didn't it? Excellent over. Last over from this end, I was saying, sorry. Oh, it's crunched. Through the covers it goes, straight to the sweeper.
Yeah, and certainly the last few games, Higgins come back nicely with the ball. Probably didn't feel at his best and start the blast as well as he would have liked with ball in hand. And it is a tricky game sometimes when it's working against you, but great to see him coming back nicely last couple.
Catch it. Feathered to short fine leg straight to the field. So just a single taken.
Yeah, it looks like he's really finding a way to get some good purchase on these cutters and you know, slower balls here, really making life tricky. Particularly Whiteley struggling to really find a way of picking up the pace off the wicket, which has been particularly effective.
Give it a little bit of width, flayed in the air, just fine of Holman. Tried to get something out of it. He had one grab at it really, but just eluding him.
Yeah, my fault. Just as I said, the fielding had been our best of the season. Never easy. That, you know, hard to put much blame on the fielder's door there.
The trajectory as well with that slope, as we mentioned, from the mounds, you just never know how that bounce is going to go.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, now he stepped across. Umpire Bailey's gone with the wides. Just outside the line. Higgins not impressed. As Wood had gone across. Just push that a little bit wider by Higgins.
Yeah, it did look a little bit on the harsh side, that. You know, we're always told as players that the wide line shifts across as the batsman goes, so you always feel like you need to make sure that you use that and sort of hope that there'll be a little bit of leeway on your side.
Oh, that's right on the line that time. Maybe just even things up a little.
We'll call that 1-1.
Oh, swing and a miss. Now, one's come from Higgins.
Yeah, good mixing again from Ryan here. And certainly I think, you know, even for a guy of, you know, might not have, you know, bundles of pace, but he's got a massive appetite for these scenarios and for bowling in pressure situations, which always stands a bowler in good stead.
Last ball of the 19th. Oh, that's good as well, just inside the line. Brilliant from Higgins, that's perfect. Given that little bit of width, and fine over from Higgins. 153 for 5. Remember, just past the 100 point when the wickets had tumbled, we were saying they'd be trying to look for somewhere around 160. Well, these guys gave it a chance. 31 from Wood, 20 from Whiteley. Good strike rates from them, but Middlesex have just dragged it back again in the last couple of overs. And Helm bowling the final over. Well, it could go anywhere, of course, this over, but Helm at the death, such a difficult bowler to get away.
Yeah, and it is always hard to tell, particularly when, you know, we were mentioning a partnership gets going and two guys are in. Certainly it feels like the ground gets smaller and that it's easier to score, so maybe we'd look at 180 as about par, but certainly three single digit overs so far to close out the innings. Hopefully another one to follow here has been particularly impressive.
Block hole delivery in the air. Whoa, he's got hold of that. Magnificent shot from Whiteley. It was right up there from Helm. He's missed by barely a matter of inches his target, but Whiteley cashes in.
Yeah, good batting. You know, Whiteley probably doesn't feel like he struck the ball particularly well, and that felt like it really was, you know, pretty close to that Yorker length, and he's just managed to get enough under it. And yeah, he's a strong guy, and not the biggest boundary straight, and yeah, he's made Helmy pay there.
I mean, that was the finest of the margins. How he's cleared 6 out of that delivery. It was hardly in the slot, was it?
Absolutely, and players like Whiteley are so dangerous for that exact reason, in that, you know, when it does come to this key period in the game, your margins do feel small, particularly when you get to the slightly smaller grounds.
So look at the 6 again. Just a little bit of width, I guess, helped him to free up the arms slightly. But still, Helm was hardly off target there, was he?
Yeah, and I think, you know, probably it is a fraction off, and like you said, often with guys like Whiteley, the sort of bigger hitters at the death, you probably want to either get right towards the wide line, away from his body, or at the toes, to make sure that he can't free those arms. Anywhere in between that misses is going to be potentially, you know, trouble, and gives him a chance to really use his power. So yeah, hopefully Helmy can find a way to take that away from him over these next few balls.
Replacement ball found, as the damage was done to that last one. Smeared out to deep mid-wicket for a single. Whiteley off strike, 27 from 19 for him.
Yeah, and good mixing there from Helmy's. One of his great skills at the death is that he is unpredictable, with also having that added pace element and a good slower ball, which I think, you know, in the current climate of T20 cricket and the way the game's going is absolutely crucial.
Feels like this could be an interesting matchup now, Helm to Wood. Pace off, in the air, and out. Holman holds on, and Wood goes for 31. Brilliant innings for him, just managing to push Hampshire on when they looked as though they might drop short, and some way short of 160. Well, they've got to that. Where can they go afterwards?
Yeah, another good catch there from Luke Coleman in the deep. Good use again of that serve ball from Helmy there. Particularly, I think, when he gets that nice and full, with it being back of the hand and looking like it comes out seam up, always is tricky to really pick up exactly where it's going to drop. So good use of it, and yeah, good catch by Lukey in the deep.
Great shot that. Excellent work from Holman. Excellent work from the camera person and the producer as well. Well done, Dan. Always well done from Ollie, the producer.
Always a pleasure to see Luke Coleman's concentration face as well.
Ian Dawson, the new bat, well, they were always going to do that, weren't they? Find the single, rightly so. Dawson, who got that horrible injury here in 2020 when he was going for a single. Was played off the, well, in fact, was it even off the single? I remember he was on the back foot. I think it was just he landed on the Achilles and then set off.
Yeah, I remember being here for that, and it was, yeah, horrible to witness. Obviously, for anyone to get an injury, and like you said, in that situation, you sort of knew from the off, I guess, that something pretty sinister had happened. And yeah, I think he's done really well to sort of recover, and obviously becomes, you know, maintained himself as such a key player for Hampshire.
Slow ball up in the air. Oh, everyone going for it. It's going to land safe. They won't get back for the second, crucially. Whiteley has one, so Dawson will face the last ball. .162 for 6. So 6 off the first ball of the over. 1 wicket, 1-1. This is an over Middlesex very much would have taken to finish.
Yeah, and as always, you know, you feel like you've done a great job clawing back, but it's still absolutely vital that this, you know, with only 1 ball left, that you really sort of hit your spot and make sure there's not too much further damage.
Mid-off is up, long on his back. Goes at length. Dawson probably could have guessed that one. They'll get 2. It's good fielding from Holden.
Yeah, he's had a good day out there, Maxi. Bit of a hot spot and probably one of the tougher places to field. And certainly he's one of our most athletic guys and has done a brilliant job out there for the team. And yeah, certainly the halfway stage, I think 164. Certainly the guys will be pretty happy, and I think about 60 odd off the power play, wasn't it? So certainly a pretty good comeback there from the guys.
63 for 1 it was after the power play. They lost their 3rd wicket in the 12th over. 94 for 3 at that stage when McDermott fell. So Helm ends up with 1 for 38 off his 39 off his 4 overs. Good finish from him. Good all-round performance from Middlesex. 47 from McDermott at the top. The top score. I think, Toby, as we'll take a short break here on the live stream, the one comment that I think that you came up with, I think, which sums it up for me, is partnerships. It's perhaps what Hampshire didn't have enough of, and that's what Middlesex will look for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, you know, one thing we're trying to do is play a nice positive brand of cricket here at the moment, but also make sure that we're smart in the way that we go about that. And I think, yeah, hopefully the guys in there will be discussing exactly that. And again, we spoke about having a good record here and experience of the ground. I think we know that when you get 2 set guys in, that you can really impact the game in a pretty dangerous way. So yeah, fingers crossed that starts with the opening partnership and yeah, they can go out there and knock them off.
Toby, thanks for your company. Excellent innings from you. Tim Murder's got his work cut out in the 2nd innings to see this one home.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Thanks very much, Toby Rowland-Jones. 165 the target for Middlesex to win then here at Radlett. Join us back after a short break. We'll pick up the commentary in just a few moments' time.
Pioneer, adventurer, leader. It's an instinct to never stand still. Always striving, never settling. Why should investing be any different? After all, your investment challenges aren't standing still. So neither will we. Expect more with iShares.
We're Cambridge, we're Colchester, Felixstowe and Cromer, we're Peterborough, Wellingborough, we're Luton and Acton, we're Hertford and Stratford, London and the East. We're beginners and we're veterans, local and adopted. We're progressive, we're inclusive, we're versatile, we wear our badge with pride. We're those who volunteer endless time, nurturing the future of our game. We're those who inspire others to give it a go. We're those who support with passion, and those who dream of pulling on our shirt. We're strengthening our history to thrive in the future. We are built by our region, for our region. We are sunrisers.
Leaders never stand still. Expect more with iShares.
That's it. Step on that. I will go down as well, I think. Oh, that's a terrible throw, though. Like that. Attack it and then get behind it, isn't it? Yeah. Base on the arm, and then skip up better. How do you pick it up? Yeah. Just go through and have to get it. Just hope it has a nice. I've lost the throw.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Radlett, where Stephen Eskenazi and Joe Cracknell out to open the innings for Middlesex. 165 the target after a pretty fine bowling performance here in Hertfordshire. Hampshire put in a top score at the top from McDermott. Early wicket of Vince, crucial in this one, the form that he's been in, but Middlesex will be delighted with what they produce with the ball against the defending champions. Job only half done though, they'll know that. Middlesex won't for a moment think the job's done. So Wood it'll be to open up from the pavilion end. So 165 is the target. Wood be left arm over. He's got one slip in place. Deep square is back. So too deep backward point. Stopped slightly on Eskenazi, that one. Eskenazi had that incredible run in white ball cricket, including here at Radlett last year. Oh, it's a beaut from Wood, angled across Eskenazi. That's another good one from Words. Great start here from the left armour. Leg by to get Middlesex up and running. To the short fine leg it goes. Oh, Cracknell coming down the track to him. It's a little bit of shake down the leg side. I'm Kevin Hanton, Mertis alongside me. We'll say hello at the end of the over. One to come of the opening over here. Good start from Woods. They'll be coming back so hard, the defending champions, after a tough time with bat in the first innings. That's an excellent first over by Woods. Maiden for him, just the leg bite off it, one without loss. Middlesex 165 the target. Tim Mercer alongside me, player coach at Middlesex now, and well, bowling performance pretty good for the boys in that one, Merce.
Yeah, it was. I thought we did pretty well. I think sort of before the game started, I think, what did they end up, 164? I think we'd have snapped your hand off for that, just knowing the pitch here, knowing the size of the ground. Thought the boys did really well, especially, you know, Luke Holman, 2 for 12 was it, off his 3. Bowled really nicely, yeah. So overall happy with half the game, but it is half a game, and you know we've got to play well this second half to do the job.
Turner, one of the changes. Oh, he's picked up a wicket first ball. Eskenazi looking to hit him off his line straight away. Dollies it up to mid-wicket. Skipper will be massively disappointed. Solid start for the Hawks. Middlesex are 1 for 1.
Yeah, unfortunate that there. It was kind of there to hit. I think a bit of a drag down first ball. Perhaps just got an Esky a bit quicker than he thought, and caught the splice, and yeah, fairly regulation catch to mid-wicket. Not the start we would have liked.
Slightly borne out at the first over. Excellent first over from Wood.
Yeah, possibly. I think any time as a batter, if you kind of face 5 or 6 dots and don't get any away, I think you're probably been start to go, and I think that may well have been the case there.
Peter Milan in at 3. Middlesex is overseas. South African test batter. Top score of 140 in T20 cricket.
I watched this guy in warm-up, Turner. He looks quite quick, to be fair. He's getting the ball through, so I don't know if he's done Esky there for a bit of pace as well.
Top ball for Milan as well. Well, we've seen how Middlesex bowled on this, and when Middlesex put it on the spot on a length, it is tough to get away.
Yeah, I think so. I think sort of we played a lot of cricket here now, 20 overs and 50 overs, to hopefully know what we're doing. So, yeah, you're right. I think any time you're bowling second, you watch what the team bowling first do and try and learn.
Bumped up to cover. John Turner, 22 years of age, from Johannesburg. T20 debut from his played 2 first-class matches and 15 List A, all for Hampshire.
Yeah, he looks handy. As I said before, watched him in the warm-ups this morning, and their mitt-man was standing quite a long way back, so he's obviously got a bit of something about him. So you know, the boys are going to perhaps have to take a few balls, just settle in, get used to the pace of the pitch.
Another dot ball. Excellent start here from Hampshire. Ball to come with the second over. Part of the feeling at that halfway stage for Middlesex, the biggest danger, obviously the defending champions. Great bowling attack, but also losing wickets early, and just the pressure of the form they're under for the batters. Would it become a difficult game? Oh, he's gone. Nips one back. Cracknell inside edge beat him. Turner strikes last ball of his first over. Middlesex after 2 overs, 2 for 2.
Yeah, I mean, looked fairly straight first up. He does stand a bit leg side of the ball, so interesting to see if it might have gone and missed leg stump, but we'll see here. Probably looks pretty good to me, sort of trapped on the crease. Yeah, that looks pretty dead. I don't think Joe can have too many complaints there. As I said, he's got something about him, this bowler, so he's not someone we've seen a huge amount of. Hopefully Max coming in now has been positive all year and trying to take on the game, and that's kind of been his role at 4 or 3 or, you know, wherever he's batted. So
a lot of the talk coming out of the last few games was not really letting bowlers bowl at Middlesex, but equally when you've got a low chase like this, you don't want to throw wickets away early. Caught in between a rock and a hard place at the moment, because Wood and Turner have had an outstanding start, and you'd imagine, much like at Taunton when Overton and Davey went through, may well do the same here with these two. Big job for Max Holden, former T20 opener for Middlesex, to do. Land on strike first up. Oh, it's another beaut from Wood. Really bowling well.
yeah, as you say, it's tricky, and you know they're going to keep coming as well. They've got Ellis in the team, he's obviously a very experienced bowler as well. Curry, he might be the one that we're going to have to try and target at some place, and only one spinner, I guess, Dawson. So it'll be interesting to see if they keep going with these two. And
use of the feet, only just clears the infield, Milan. Mid wicket, mid on, retreating.
yeah, it's something we've tried to do, sort of, you know, T20 cricket has progressed a lot in the last 10-15 years, and it's just something, especially with the batting, we're trying to be more positive, trying to always take the positive option. Okay, it's not going to work all the time, but you know, hopefully over time.
Gets hold of that one, flat 6. Beautiful shot by Milan, beautiful pickup. Middlesex's first boundary.
Yeah, that's kind of a bit of an example. We're sort of 4 for 2, and as you say, other teams or other players might look to bed in and try and sort of see off a few overs, but you know, suddenly the rate gets up to 10 and it gets away from you, and we've got to keep trying to be brave. Fielder goes out there now.
picked up by Milan.
Yeah, it's a philosophy that we want to try and change at the club, and it's a philosophy that a lot of the best T20 teams in the world take on, and you know, as I say, there's going to be some bad days in between, but it's something that we want to push and we want to do more of.
Nice shot by Milan. Better third over here for Middlesex. Milan on to 12.
Yeah, just transferring a bit of pressure back onto the bowler. That's kind of what it's all about. Any bowlers in this format of the game know full well what that feels like, and it's easier if you can just run up and bowl, perhaps a bit like Wood managed to do in his first over. But Pete Milan's come out sort of all guns blazing and looked to try and transfer that pressure back onto him, which is good to see.
Leg side on this occasion from Wood, just tickled for a single for Milan. Excellent over for Milan, much better one for Middlesex. 13 off it. They're off and running in the power play now. 15 for 2. Holden still to have strike. Recovered from the weekend. Bit of a heavy one perhaps for you.
Yeah, we're down in Taunton for a couple of days. Yeah, obviously not the results we would have liked, and we stayed down there on the Friday night after the game.
Wait, when were you at Lord's? I was thinking of your day out in the President's box.
That was that was Thursday.
A week ago. A Thursday and Friday.
I was there day one, yeah. I thought you were inferring the trip down to Taunton and Bristol, yeah.
Well, heavy weekend.
Taking this role very seriously, I'll have you know, thank you.
You only got one day at Lord's, I can't believe it.
Yeah, well, we had a game on the Friday down in Somerset on the Friday night, so I was there Thursday, it was nice to watch. Yeah, sat in the MCC President's box with Stephen Fry, which was all good fun.
A comedian and a joker.
Yeah, he was quite funny as well.
Oh, first ball for Holden. Looking to tee off from the off.
Yeah, just as you said, trying to follow kind of Pete's lead there. Perhaps gave himself a bit too much room. Trying to get away over or through that offside where there's no one back.
Leg side, Holden cashing in. It's a tough chase this. Will just beat it in the end. Alice coming around. Taking a couple to get Holden off the mark.
That was Toby. You have a good chat with Tobes?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think he wanted to just fall short of the fact that was Middlesex's best innings of the season, probably battle ball. So, big job for you to follow up. Holden using the feet and going big. I think he got it all the way. He did. It did just clear the rope. Bounces up and over the advertising board. 6 for Holden.
Yeah, good batting once again, taking the kind of option that seems, you know, the less risky one. Can't just let these bowlers run up and bowl, otherwise, you know, we're going to find ourselves a long way behind the rate, and just transfers a bit too much pressure onto the middle order. So really good to see.
Turner follows him on this occasion. Just a single to end the over, but again a good one for Middlesex. And 12 coming off it. 27 for 2 after 4. Recovering from 2 for 2 after 2, Middlesex. So guest to the President.
Yeah, guest to the President. Myself and my lovely wife, Karina. Got invited up there for day one of the test match.
Did you ring the bell first day?
No. It's a pretty sore subject. I think didn't get asked to do that.
Owen Morgan on day one, was it?
Morgan, yeah. Then the O'Brien brothers did it as well. I think they thought they'd soften the blow with just offering me free food and free drink in the president's box instead.
Single to start the fifth, so Curry into the attack. As you say, perhaps the bowler that they'll look to target. Well, in the power play, they'll certainly be targeting the fifth. Scampered single from Lamb.
Yeah, good running. I think it's important these two keep turning over the strike whenever they can't get the ball away to the boundary. I think got to look to score off as many balls as we can. So that's, yeah, good batting.
Oh, he scooped it, and he's done well. Had to wait on it in the end. Holden. Curry looked to adjust. Holden had to react. Does so well.
Yeah, nice bit of improvisation there from Maxi. It's something he practices a lot and something he's become very good at. Getting down low early and just using the pace to get it over the keeper, and know how kind of short the straight boundaries are. So a good option for Max.
Stroked away and through it goes. 4 runs. Back-to-back boundaries for Holden. Middlesex starting to motor.
Yeah, this is more like it, isn't it? You know, after the loss of those 2 wickets, these two have looked like they've settled themselves down a bit, taken some calculated risks. Again, there, Max giving himself a bit of room. And we know once the ball gets through the outfield here, especially in the power play, it's going to be 4.
Oh, he's gone again. Brilliant from Holden, 1 bounce. He's into the 20s.
Yeah, again, really good. His sort of option, bit of a risk, but you know, plays it really well. Sort of Curry looks like he's taken pace off the ball, and I think Max has kind of preempted that as well. So really good, and sort of gets us up to where we'd like to be at this stage.
Oh, looks go after him once more. Could be a run out. Holden in trouble. The throw misses. A similar moment at the end of Hampshire's innings. Holden gets away with that one, a little inside edge into the onside, but an outstanding over for Middlesex and for Holden.
Yeah, he's smiling there, Maxie, but I don't think he would have been if the ball had hit the stumps. He was a long way down. Not quite sure running to the bowler is, you know, we spoke about taking as many singles as we can, but that was perhaps a bit too risky. Ellis on now, which I think is going to be quite a pivotal part of the game. I'm surprised he hasn't bowled up till now. He's very good in the sort of middle to death overs as well, so I think we need to be ahead of the game before, you know, he's able to come back and bowl at the end as well.
I'll say with the power play then. Single start for Milan, just tickled out to the deep square. 63 for 1 Hampshire at the end of the power play, having been put in by Middlesex, but really limped along after that, holding it together. 93 for 3 when he fell. In the 94 for 3, my apologies, in the 12th.
Did you see Angus Fraser lugging around a keg of beer around the boundary?
I really wish I did. I think we do need a serious word with the camera crew after the game. I've missed that.
I did see him struggling around with Bob Baxter, part of our committee, taking a keg of beer down to the tent down there at Vinny and Ted's.
Maybe they were promised a pint at the end if they didn't show it. The pub that you and Angus Fraser jointly own together, which you've discreetly dropped in there.
I mean, I don't know how I managed to get that in there. It's more of a bar than a pub as well, thanks Kev.
Ooh, moving up in the world.
Managed to persuade 3 of the lads to have stickers on the back of their bat. See if we can get Pete Milan. Where's the cameraman? Where's Ollie? Can we get him to zoom into the back of Pete Milan's bat? You'll see a little sticker. You can just about see the black sticker at the bottom there. Need a better angle, Ollie.
Oh, now tucked under that one. Milan, he did have a look. No ball, it's called. Well, Ellis looks to square leg.
There we go. There's
there
the sticker. Vinny and Ted's, good lad. Yeah, managed to persuade Pete Crackers and Mark Stoneman to have stickers on the back in return for a few samples of our produce.
Picked up sweetly so, but has he got enough? Oh, it's a great catch. Milan's gone for 18. 3rd wicket falls in the power play. Crane holds on. And off the bat, Milan may have felt he had a chance of that, just didn't quite get it. Dragged into the onside. Ellis strikes. Big wicket. Middlesex is overseas, has to head back.
Yeah, looked like a slower ball. Just got a bit stuck, and Pete's tried to work it into that big gap at mid-wicket, and as you say, good bit of fielding from Mason Crane. He's on as a sub-fielder, is he? Not sure who he's on for, but yeah, as I said, Ellis is going to be their danger man. He's very experienced in this format of the game, as you can see with that one out the back of the hand. So shame, because we're just starting to get good partnership going together then.
Yep, still 2 balls to come with the power players. Ryan Higgins will have strike, coming in at 5. Keeps the right-handed, left-handed partnership going as well. Higgins had an incredible start to the season in the championship with the bat. Very much will want to get going here. Make an impact in the blasts. Ball from Ellis. That was the end of the power play. 6 done. 45 for 3. Behind at the moment, Middlesex. Hampshire were 63 for 1. But the innings really struggled to 165, which actually was topped up in the end by the partnership between Woods and Whiteley. Middlesex need to build a partnership now.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a crucial part of the game, how we play the spin of Liam Dawson. Another guy very experienced, played a lot of cricket. You know, Max plays spin pretty well. He's got most of the shots, reverse sweeps. So I think this is going to be a fairly crucial time of the game, because, you know, Luke Holman bowled very nicely for us and was a threat all the way through. So let's see how we go.
So experienced, Liam Dawson. That's well played by Holden. Really well played first up. Just a little short, Dawson, and holding on to it quickly.
Yeah, good use of the crease, going really deep there, sort of giving himself that kind of length that he could pull away. It wasn't that bad a ball, to be fair, on the replay.
33 years of age now, Swindon-born Liam Dawson. Just be a single down to long off. He has been mentioned as a possible candidate to replace Leach. 3 tests for Dawson. It's India, December 2016. Also played against South Africa in July 2017. That was his last. 6 ODIs for England, 11 T20 internationals. Swept fine, and swept well by Higgins. Beats deep backward square.
Yeah, nice shot. Good sort of pressure on the spinner early, which is good to see. Just drifting down the leg side here, and here goes, played a good sweep, and you get full value for your runs in that corner of the ground, that is for sure. I don't think there's any point trying to work out which spinner England are going to pick, is there? Because they'll go completely left field. And
who would you go for, Mertz? Leg side, drifting down.
I don't know. I can't see Moeen Ali coming back. I think he's probably sort of made his mind up on that, and I think it would be a big shift for him to get his head back around playing red ball cricket.
Oh, past the edge, last ball of the over. 9 off it though. Good start for Middlesex against Dawson, who will be a real danger man from here. 54 for 3 after 7. Will Jacks mentions?
I mean, they may just not pick anyone and play an extra seamer, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised if they went that way, and sort of allow Root to bowl some of his off spin in the middle overs. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see. A shame for Leach, obviously massive part of England's team for the last few years, and you know, a real shame for him personally. I'm sure he would have been looking forward to locking horns with Smith and Labuschagne and those guys again.
Driven sweetly, driven hard by Holdham. He's into the 30s.
Yeah, nice shot, bit of width there. Max has thrown his hands at it. He's obviously seeing the ball pretty well. He's come out sort of from ball one and been really positive. As we said, we're kind of trying to look to play that way. So
short, dragged away, put away. Wasn't even that short actually from Curry, but Holdham is indeed seeing it big.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think that was that short. We'll have a look on the replay, but Max is seeing the ball like a football at the moment. Yeah, top of the stump, so really good shot.
Stopped at extra cover.
It's got the hallmarks of a tight finish, I'm afraid, Kev, written all over it.
Yeah, you've seen it all, Mertz. T20 winner.
I've seen this before, yeah.
Oh, look to go hard at that one again, throw the hands at it.
Yeah, that was probably the worst ball of the over, and he's managed to miss that one, so I'd be a bit disappointed he didn't throw his hands through that and get that 3-point as well. But yeah, I think he's going to have to keep going, and then the guys at the other end bat around Max, because looks like he's our sort of danger man at the moment.
Again, just a fraction short this time to deep backward square. On to come of the over for Higgins to face. It's an outstanding opener, wasn't he, Holden, for Middlesex with Eskenazi, but a change up to move him into the middle order where he likes to play spin as well.
Yeah, he's probably our best player of spin, so it sort of made sense maybe for him to drop down.
Just a single 20 over. Higgins will keep the strike. He's on to 5, 64 for 3. Well, let's hope if it's Parkinson they go back to, they give him a little bit more notice before he sets up the barbecue this year.
Yeah, I mean, I've no idea who the other names. What did he say, Jax? I don't think Bess. No, Rayan Ahmed. He's, I mean,
one, yep.
He's a potential, I guess, as an attacking sort of leg spinner, and showed a bit in Pakistan that he's up for the challenge of international cricket. So that also wouldn't surprise me if he gets called into the squad as well.
Single for Higgins gives Holden the strike against Dawson. This feels like a big matchup. They've already taken him for 9 off his first over Dawson. Looking for 2. They'll get it. It's a good stop. Out on the ropes by Ellis. He's got a really good start here, Holden. You feel that he may well hold the key to this innings for Middlesex, having got himself in this match up against the spinner. Low full toss, just a single.
Yeah, these are the kind of innings, aren't they, we've sort of spoken about throughout the year. Someone going on and getting a big score, and we haven't managed to do that yet, which has been part of the reason why, you know, we have lost every game. But hopefully Max can kick on from here and get a match-winning performance.
Oh, what did the spin do for him? They've taken a couple. Higgins on to 8, 2 to come of the over. Should just be a single. On to come of the 9th here at Radlett. Yeah, run rate just below the required.
They've been keeping you well fed and watered in here, Kev, or?
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Outstanding shots finish the over from Holden. He's on to 44 from 22. Brilliant strike rate. Middlesex need it. Dawson's gone for 20 off his first 2 overs.
Yeah, lovely shot here. I think sort of he sits back in his crease, feints to go forward, gets a width and just powers that through extra cover. So yeah, it's crucial that Max stays there and the guys back round him, because he's obviously seeing the ball very well.
I was kind of hoping that you and Toby might have brought me some pudding from the players' dining room, to be honest.
We don't get any pudding these days. What are you talking about?
No puddings these days. We got a magnificent tiramisu in the championship match here last year. Yes, no. Throw to the non-striker's end. Well, would he have been back? Holden diving. Has he hurt himself in the process? Oh dear. Let's hope this isn't too bad for Holden. Diving to get back in with a bat charge.
Looks like he's holding his side, maybe. He's alright, he's a tough cookie.
Should just be a single. Bit of a bobble out there, parched outfields.
This is Turner, who did all the damage early with the new ball, but hopefully going to be a different story now with the field back, and the guys haven't seen a bit more of him already.
Top edge, but safe for Holden. 1 bounce and 4. Holden's on to 48. First little stroke of luck for Holden in his innings. He's earned it, I'd say.
Yeah, we don't mind those. Straight over the keeper's head, no fielders there. So again, just on Max, a little bit quicker than perhaps he would have expected with the extra pace of Turner. But you know, 4 more runs gladly accepted to the total.
Oh, just dives on Holden. Angled across him. Taking on the bounce. Nasty one for the keeper.
Yeah, just a little bit of seam movement there, it appeared, off the wicket.
Good shot just for 1. Deep backward square doing his job. Deep backward squares there. Just a single again. And 7 off the over. Halfway stage, 82 for 3. It was in the 12th when the 3rd wicket fell for Hampshire. And they were 94 for 3 at that stage. So Middlesex, especially with Holden, just getting back into it. There we go. Middlesex. Very much hope that this partnership now can bring them back into it.
Yeah, getting Ellis back into the attack. I sort of spoke earlier about trying to get ahead of the game before those last 4 death overs, because he's been exceptional doing that. I think is this his 2nd over? 2nd over, yeah. So yeah, we're going to have to keep going strong to, as I say, get ahead of that rate.
Punch to point for Higgins.
I mean, we bat reasonably deep, which is good, so we've got a lot of batting still to come in the hutch. Still got Luke Holman. Yeah, Jack Davis been impressive in the couple of games that he's played. Thought he played really well down at Bristol.
Slow ball. Get hold of it, Higgins. Yeah, he's been waiting his chance a while, Davis, hasn't he? Always feel he's a busy cricketer at the crease.
Yeah, he's sort of taken his opportunity. You know, played some really good shots. Added a bit more power to his game this year as well. I know he's worked hard on that in the winter, so good to see him come in and make an impact, which is what we want.
Short, hit in the air by Higgins, down to long on, a bit of a trip from Crane, but he's managed to get the return back in. Curry, my apologies, not Crane.
Don't want to get your Currys and Cranes mixed up.
There's the 50 for Max Holden, 26 deliveries for Holden's 50. Also managed 8 fours and a 6. Outstanding knock. Giving Middlesex every chance here at Radlett.
Yeah, just looked really positive from ball 1. It's great to see it's sort of taken on that role at number 4. I think perhaps he probably would have felt a bit disappointed when asked to move down to number 4, but he's taken it on really well.
It's pulled hard, finding the gap between deep mid wicket and long on. Higgins on to 16 from 16.
Yeah, nice little bit of dovetailing from these two. Sort of Max took it on early, and I think Higgo's decided that perhaps he needs to be the one now that becomes a bit more of the aggressor. And as I said, I'm sure they spoke about Ellis and how good he is at the death, so looking to target the overs before we get to that stage.
Oh, that slips out.
Referee.
Umpire Bailey. Let's turn a go. 2 for 19 off 3 for him. 88 for 3.
Got a replay on that one. Oh, that's definitely one that Rob Bailey owes us.
That's only half a pint for Rob Bailey and Vinny and Ted's tonight then.
No, he's getting nothing for that, I'm afraid. Actually, maybe one of the non-alcoholic ones.
Cut hard, but only as far as cover. Missed times by Holden.
Baint's at the other end, Neil Baint, and he can have a couple. He's a good lad. We'll look after him.
Wayne Noon, the match ref. It's at least one, isn't it? Although, was he the umpire at Taunton in 2017? Match ref. I seem to remember having to interview the match ref at the end of that game.
That's good memory if you can remember that.
Well, because I had to do the interview, the face of the poor fellow when he had to come out to face us at the end of that game.
Tried to forget that one, Kev. Yeah. Didn't happen.
Bounce on that foot. Woods find a bit of climb past the outside edge. Yeah, it's been a long way back to Division 1 for Middlesex since, but 1,000 wickets for Middlesex. 10 for against Kent, and a couple of big wins in the Championship so far for Middlesex this year, and at the moment holding their own in mid-table.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be difficult coming back up to Div 1. We know that. We haven't been there for, what, 7 years or whatever it's been. And I think the standards got better since then. So, yeah, it's been tough. You know, the first 2 games were pretty tough. We didn't have much practice, had all our warm-up games washed out, so we were definitely undercooked going into those 2 games. But then, as you say, to get those 2 wins in the middle against Notts and Kent gave us a little bit of confidence.
I'm looking for 2. That's the call from Holden. A slide and a stop. Oh, it probably was there, but they've settled on 1. Big game coming up against Northamptonshire at Merchant Taylor School.
Yeah, look, it's been a tough start, no matter sort of which format you look at, the 4-day stuff or the T20s. It's not gone as we would have liked, but still a lot of cricket to be played in the summer, and guys got to keep their heads up and stay really positive.
Positive shot from Higgins, gets it away through mid-wicket for 4. He's into the 20s. Middlesex going to be ahead of the game now for the first time as they move to 95 for 3 in the 12th.
Yeah, really good options again. As we said, I think they would have had a conversation. Looks like Higo's kind of taken on that role as the one who's going to try and hit boundaries and try and be the real aggressor, and maybe Max bat the whole way through the innings now, so which is good. It'd be interesting to see how he goes.
Low full toss,
4 more.
And 4 more it is in front of the backward square leg. 99 for 3 at the end of the 12th. They are ahead of the game. Put away nicely in between the 2 in the deep.
Yeah, good shot, just using his feet again, try and knock Wood off his length, try and get him to do something different, and it's paid off there. Nice couple of boundaries just to keep that momentum going. Why is it so cold today? Where's the summer gone?
Because the weather gods saw how much sunblock Luke Holman put on. That's a full toss to start from Dawson. He gets away with it, just a single. 100 up for Middlesex in the 13th, 100 for 3. Mainly thanks to that man. Cut away. Vacant deep thirds. Fielder up inside the circle and flying in the backward point as well. Another boundary.
Good again from Ryan Higgins. Taking a few balls to get himself going, but ever since then he's looked to be ultra aggressive and ultra positive, which is exactly what we need if we're going to take this victory, which is would be much needed.
It's a great sweep there. Deep backward square is fine enough to cut it off though, even with the slope from the mound that is the square here at Radlett. 60 from 44, 7 wickets standing. Giving themselves every chance now, Middlesex. Up in the air from Holdham. Short fine leg, takes a comfortable catch. Got right underneath it. Bit of a misjudgment from the left-hander. A fine 50, his first of the Blast campaign. 53 from 31 deliveries, but Holden's got to go. 105 for 4.
Yeah, shame. Just looked like it sort of bounced a bit more than he expected, or just stuck in the wicket a bit more. Top edge and a fairly easy catch there for Chris Wood, but as you say, Max looked really positive from the start. Fine innings, and you know, hopefully the lower to middle order can take us home in this one.
Eyes lit up a little. Perhaps let's go too big.
Yeah, I think so. I think just perhaps lost his shape a bit. I mean, I don't know why I'm talking about batting, to be honest, and losing shape, but
as a former British University's all-rounder.
With a Test 50, yep.
Ricky Clark was at Lord's a few weeks ago for the... which game was it now? I'm sure I can remember which game he was there for, but a championship game. Had a long chat with him in the lunch interval about your batting. The Notts game, was it?
Can't have lasted that long, really.
He was mightily disappointed how your batting's fallen away over the years. Genuine all-rounder, he said in your Surrey days. Another left-hander, Jack Davies. Runs its backward point. Dot ball to end the over. So Dawson's in amongst the wickets. 1 for 26 for him after his 3 overs, and 105 for 4. So that wickets column Middlesex got to be wary of. As you'll see, they've just overtaken Hampshire. The wicket arrives, may slow things up.
A lot on Ryan here. That's 2.
Well run. Higgins on to 32.
Yeah, that's something I think Jack will bring, sort of coming out to bat. He's a little whippet between the crease. So he'll definitely put the guys on the boundary under pressure, trying to push hard for 2s.
Away for a single this time, down to Turner. Yeah, Higgins first, Holman's first 50 of the campaign. To get a 50, of course, in the championship in that victory against Nottinghamshire, an extraordinary chase against Stuart Broad and crew. Bottom edge into the boot, rolls back into the onside.
Yeah, just need Jack to be really busy when he comes out here. It's not easy, as I said, but sort of need to get the ball away quickly, get off strike, give Higo the strike back. Can't really afford to chew up too many dot balls, but he'll know that. His options, where are his options? He's looking around the field. I think he'll look leg side. He likes to play the scoop and reverse scoop, but they've got 2 men back for that.
This is worked fine by Davis for a single. Hits him off the mark. Fine partnership with Martin Anderson, which just gave Middlesex something to bowl at Taunton. Scored 32 in that game, and then 46 unbeaten at Bristol, justifying his selection. 4th T20 for him. Oh, that's going to be a no ball.
Rob.
Over. It's another one from umpire Bailey Merce.
Let's have a look at that. That's miles over his head.
Single to end the over. Curry's gone for 29 off 3, 110 for 4 Middlesex. I think Ryan Higgins perhaps still making that point, is he?
I don't think he's too happy about it, is he? Look at him. I don't know why he's spraying Neil Bainton. He was...
Bainton's not as big as Bailey.
It wasn't his decision, yeah.
Doesn't take long to get the smile back on Higgins' face though, does it? How angry would he be against Dawson? Running hard the first, and they will get back for the second. That's good running.
Excellent running, good cricket from both of them. I think Ryan knowing that they're back right on the rope there on the leg side, and knowing that Jack's quick and will turn and go and get back for 2, really good.
Yeah, small boundaries here at Radlett, but managing to find 2 in front of Curry. Just a single in front of point.
Interesting to see what Davo does here. He's another good player of spin. Very short, very short. He won't appreciate me saying that, but you know, he plays the sweep shots really well, the reverse and the conventional, being so low to the ground. So yeah, don't be surprised if we see that quite early. Probably the sweep, I'd say, rather than the reverse, but who am I to know?
Clipped away, just a single. Bobbles up to deep mid wicket, but only a single it is. I said this was his fourth T20 of this campaign. He's played 18 in total now in T20 cricket. Average of just under 24, strike rate of just over 110. Hits high up on the back leg. Let's have a couple of 50s to his name, Davis, in 5 list A appearances. Oh, dropping short, and Higgins makes no mistake on this occasion. That was like a projectile flat across the outfield.
Yeah, really good. Again, sat really deep in his crease and waited for any kind of length that he could get under and drag to the leg side. Powerful little man. Another little man, yes. Sorry.
Did you mention they're not the tallest, Merce? Oh my goodness me. Well, that's the ball of the day, no doubt about it. Probably the ball of the competition so far. Beautiful delivery, a little bit of drift. Gripped, turning away from the left-hander as well. End of the 15th, let's have a look again, 118 for 4.
Yeah, nicely bowled. We know sort of he's not a massive spinner of the ball usually, Liam Dawson, but just gave that one a bit more air and the chance to grip off the surface. So is that the end of him? Has he bowled 3 overs or 4 overs?
That is the end of his 4th. So Dawson is bowled out, picking up that 1 wicket he picked up. Holden Courtwood for 53. 118 for 4, so he finishes that over on a high note, doesn't he? 1 for 34 from his 4. Oh, skissed that away fine. Davis, pretty typical Davis shot, that one. Manoeuvres the crease really well.
Yeah, I think having sort of fine leg up, that was always going to be the way he was going to go. Use the pace of Turner, try and get the ball fine down towards us. So really smart batting. They're dropping fine leg down now. Who's come up? Mid-off's come up, has he? So they got mid-off and mid-on up. So hopefully he can use his power now and get anything straight down the ground.
Gives himself a little bit of room, tries to do exactly that and clears mid-off. Davis on to 10, Middlesex 126 for 4.
Yeah, good batting, good manoeuvring of the field. As soon as those 2 guys are up straight, anything full, he was going to look to try and pump down the ground, which he did just.
Back-to-back boundaries to start the 16th. Strong start to the over for Middlesex. Much needed. 39 from 28 to win. Shaw. Oh, what a catch. Incredible piece of fielding at deep backward square. Sweet pick up from Davis, but Ellis gets himself into position early, holds on to a low but important catch for Hampshire. 1-2-6 for 5, Middlesex.
Yeah, unfortunate, just on his hip, just swiveled and looked like he'd got it away for all money, but yeah, fine bit of fielding. Who was that who took the catch down there? From Ellis, yeah. Which brings Luke Holman to the crease.
Left-hander replaces a left-hander. Very much the way to do it down the order. Just a brief little cameo for Davis on this occasion after a couple of good innings in the West. Returns home to Radlett. Home in terms of the second 11, home as it is for Middlesex. But Holman, a North Middlesex boy, not too far from this part of the world.
Yeah, bowled really nicely earlier, Luke, so prides himself on his batting and being a bit of a finisher for us, so hopefully he can get us over the line here. He's got a bit of work to do because we need 39 off 27 balls. So again, similar to Jack, he's going to have to sort of get himself up and running pretty quick.
Pitching outside the line of leg. And take the leg by, so 9 off the over. Higgins back onto strike, and well, yeah, you do fancy that Holman perhaps at this stage, what you don't need is 2 new batsmen, so the likes of Holman and De Carey's and Anderson perhaps at the other end are going to have to try and be the finishers around Higgins.
Yeah, what we don't need is Fletch prowling around the box here as well, effing and blinding. I now know what he's like when Brighton are playing and he's watching them. Look, little trip to Wembley, didn't you, Fletch, to watch Brighton? I think Liverpool are nabbing McAllister off you as well, I think, by the looks of it. Good player.
The Director of Communications swearing at the back of the box.
Never.
It's going to be a wide. We'll watch that shootout in the dressing room at Lord's. Toby Rowland-Jones was doing the interview at the end of the match, so come on Kev, come in the dressing room, we'll watch it in here and then we'll do the interview. Bouncer, run nicely for a single to get Holman off the mark. He is 1 from 2. Higgins is on 42. Middlesex 130 for 5. They need 35 off the last 4 overs. So 35 off 24. This is Holman's over. He's going to have to go for it here. Try and get Middlesex motoring from the other ends. As we've said, Heed, Careys and Anderson try and finish this at the other end to Higgins.
Yeah, I'd like to see this over go for 15. Got 2 from Ellis to finish as well, so we don't want to leave too many to get off him because it's been saying all the way through he's going to be tricky. So
Curry's gone for 29 off his 3 so far.
Yeah, I think we've got to target this one in a way. Try and get at least a couple of boundaries off it. Make the job at the other end slightly easier.
Mid-off is up, long on his back. A little bit of width. Oh, he's picked out the fielder, but they run the single. Might have 2. No, well backed up. Off his own bowling by Curry. I feel he's missed out there slightly. Holman, that's a big scoring area for him, the cut shot, isn't it?
Yeah, very good square of the wicket. Just sort of sits back and looks to cut and pull as well, and you could see that they had sort of mid-off and mid-on up, didn't they? Knowing that perhaps that's not his strongest area of the ground.
Pace off, a bit of width, just a single. Over to Holman. Higgins on to 43. 4 balls left to this over. Holman will have to try somehow to really go after Curry here.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's got to look to try and target perhaps even the straight boundary over mid-off here towards us.
Steps across perhaps to do that. Now umpire Bailey does give that one the wide. I did wonder for a moment whether umpire Bailey would pause with the step across from Holman, but it was too far down the leg side, that one.
It's a good take in the end from the keeper, because that could easily have gone for 5. Just needed a bit of bat or even a bit of pad on that to take that past the keeper and down to the fine leg boundary.
Scored 39 in the innings against Gloucestershire at Northwood a couple of weeks back. Steps across again, just going to be a leg bye. Throw to the non-striker's end, which is backed up. So 4 of the first half of the over. Yeah, he looked to have won it for Middlesex at Merchant Taylor School. Middlesex couldn't quite see it over the line with Higgins and Simpson at the end. Just 9, 10 and 1 since then. An incredible year with the bat last year in Division 2. Some really crucial runs. A few cameos in the Championship so far, but 160 right at the start of the season. Oh, up in the air from Higgins. He might get away with it. Mid-off comes around, holds on. Brilliant catch on the move. Vince with a big, big catch. The Hampshire captain holds on. Higgins goes for 43 from 35. He's put Middlesex in a position to win it, but it's going to have to be the lower order that see it over the line if they are to do so.
Oh, real shame, because you could just feel something brewing a little bit there. There's 2 or 3 sort of dot balls and balls that only gone for 1, and as we spoke about, they perhaps felt that this over needed to go for more than perhaps we're going to get off Ellis. Shame from Higo, played nicely, but yeah, as you say, good opportunity now for Josh the Cares coming in.
Yeah, local lads. Radlett being his club. Second 11 cricketer with Middlesex here as well. Job to do for Careys, who opened last year the batting in the Championship alongside Mark Stoneman against Nottinghamshire. I think that was the match they put it to you at the end, Mertz, that when you took your first wicket, Careys wasn't even born. Oh, that's a wide. That helps.
Oh no, Rob.
It's not a wide. I think Careys just as confused as us. Just take a little tickle of the pat on the way through.
I can only think it must have. I mean, I think, to be fair to Rob Bailey, he's a very good umpire, but and umpires have been more reluctant to give wides off bowlers this year, which I don't mind too much.
Oh, yes, no. Dot ball to end the over. That is not the over Middlesex wanted. It is the one that Hampshire needed. 4 off it and a wicket. Curry finishes 1 for 33 from his 4. Just the 4 off the over. And the wicket. 134 for 6. 31 needed off the last 3. 10 and over at this stage is still very much doable for Middlesex. But 2 relatively fresh batters at the crease. Although, in any format, 2 top order batters, which you wouldn't usually say with 6 wickets down.
Who's going to bowl the next over? Is that, did you say Curry's bowled out there? Has Turner still got 1 left? Or probably Wood, actually.
Wood's got one.
Okay.
Ellis has 2.
He's fairly good at the death as well, pretty canny as well, so we're going to have to do it the hard way here, but you know, good opportunity for these 2 young lads.
Oh, slow ball. Does for Holman, who's looking to open up. Looking to access that offside, as we said, so strong. Cutting. Going square of the wicket. Great day with the ball for Holman. What can he do with the bat? Picked up 2 for 12 from his 3. Taking care of McDermott and Albert. That was short, slow ball, cut straight to cover. Throw comes in and misses.
Yeah, it's tough. He's bowled 2 slowies to start. I think probably having watched a lot of what happened when we bowled, he's gone to that, which is one of his favourite options at the death, Ellis. So yeah, perhaps you almost have to set yourself for that slower ball and then readjust if he does go pace on and try and go Yorker.
Just looking at Cricket Info about Josh Carey's, and they've actually quoted one of his interviews with me. Now, little bobble, but they'll get back for 2. Well fielded. 137 for 6.
It's good running again. Got to put those guys under pressure on the boundary.
Cricket Info says he was asked by the BBC about comparisons with his father, Michael Atherton, and said, from what I've seen, he just blocks the something out of it, which is pretty similar to me. So what I've seen of Takari's, he's certainly got the shots. He's shown it in a few cameos. Low full toss, slap back to the bowler. Oh, they're going to get through for the single just. Throw to the wicket keeper's end by Ellis. 4 off the over. 27 to win from 14.
Yeah, really need a boundary here, don't we? Suddenly that rate's got up to, I can't work that out, 27 or 4, yeah, something like that. It's almost 2 a ball, isn't it? Looking up towards 12 and over. So yeah, really need a boundary here just to try and give ourselves a chance in those last 2 overs of chasing this down.
Slower ball again. Just made the comment off mic. Ellis is very much Hampshire's helm. Very, very difficult to get away at the end. Good mix up for pace. Tough to pick. It's come of the over. Middlesex are clearly now going to have to target the 19th, which will be the equally tricky Wood. He's gone for 24 off 3 so far. Last ball of the 18th. Width up in the air, cry of catch. It's fine to the fielder, and 4 runs it is. The much needed boundary for Middlesex at the end of the 18th. Holman's first boundary, he moves to 8.
Yeah, as you said, that's the area of the field he's particularly strong at. Ellis will be cross with himself there because he's given him the width to throw his hands at and didn't even really have the field for that ball. So yeah, he'll be angry at himself that he's managed to concede a boundary on that last ball, because it was an excellent over up to then.
So to carry his tough strike against Woods. Top score of 24 in 3 T20 innings so far. He's got 43 as his top score in 3 List A innings, and in 10 first class innings, top score of 80 for De Caires, but signed a 3-year contract with Middlesex back in 2020. So Wood made an outstanding start with the ball. It's Hampshire restricted Middlesex to 2 for 2 from the opening 2 overs. Quite get hold of that one, just a single. Holman to face Wood. This will be an interesting matchup now.
Yeah, I think he's going to bowl a lot of cutters. Perhaps slip in Yorkers to Luke, but yeah, maybe sort of those cutters away from the right-hander, which might make it tricky to kind of drag leg side. So hopefully Luke can get across the stumps and target that shortish sort of square boundary, and as we say, be the match winner for us from here.
Off and low on back. Woods gives him width outside the off stump. It's pushed down to long off. They're thinking too, it's just a single. I feel he's missed out slightly there, Holman, with that width outside off stump. Straight to long off. 21 from 10.
Yeah, he's been around the block, hasn't he, Chris Wood? Played in the 100, and you know, very good operator for Hampshire for a number of years now.
Well bowled, block hole delivery wide across the right-handed Davis to Carey's. So he was looking to target Mason Crane, the sub-fielder, on out there.
Yeah, it's good bowling, isn't it? He's got 2 men back on the offside boundary, bowling to his field of wide Yorkers and cutters.
Right up there. He's hit it hard and he's hit it straight to mid-off. Well, barely left the ground that one, but carried all the way to Vince. Carey's hangs his head backwards. He's gone for 4. Wood has his first wicket in his final over.
Yeah, slightly unfortunate. It was there to hit. Man up in the ring on the offside. Just sliced across it. Didn't quite get the contact that he would have been hoping for. And a fairly simple catch for James Vince.
Just got under it more than I realised, actually. So Martin Anderson, again, top order batter for Middlesex, comes out at number 9. So much batting in this side, but a job to do. 21 from 8 deliveries. And these 2 deliveries that Anderson will face now, or will face one of them at least. They've got to go.
Yeah, I think realistically it's going to be hard work for Martin, but we need 2 boundaries here. I think get it down to, what would that be, 13 off the last over would give us half a sniff, but yeah, not easy. It's quite dark here now. The light's not great, so he's going to have to come in straight away and find the middle of the bat and try and get at least 1 boundary out these 2 balls.
2 back on the onsides. They're thinking about a change now. They know they're just sending short fine leg a little bit wider. So deep mid wickets back, long on, long off. Deep backward point, deep cover. That's a pick-up. Is it a big enough pick-up? Oh, it's pushed back in. Extremely good fielding out there. Outstanding fielding from Ellis. They've taken a couple. And, well, Anderson would have felt he'd have had 6 there.
Yeah, great shot first up, as you say, and an even better bit of fielding. These guys are so good. Saved his side 4 runs there. They've run 2.
Michael Jordan would have been proud of that leap, wouldn't he?
Yeah, good hang time.
Now outside the off stump, it's carved away for 4. Splits cover and backward point. 6 off the final 2 deliveries of the over. So Middlesex require 15 to win off the last.
Oh, good striking from Martin. It was in his area wide. Split those 2 fielders, as you say, which is great. Gives us half a sniff going into this last over. What do we need? 15 to win. Luke Coleman's going to be on strike, so at least he's been in there. He's faced 9 balls now, so he's hopefully got a judge of the pace of the wicket and what Ellis is going to look to try and do. So yeah, game on still.
Every ball's got to go now for Middlesex from the first ball of the over, you fancy. So long off his back. They're going to keep mid on up. Ellis right arm over to the left-hander. Deep backward square. Deep mid wicket. Long on is going to drop back. Deep cover the other. As here's Ellis. Last over coming up. Width, hit hard, in the air, straight to long on, just short of the fielder. They've taken 1. 151 for 7, 14 from 5. Anderson, who has 6 off his first 2 deliveries, onto strike. Ellis, such a supreme death bowler.
Yeah, just need him to get his length wrong here. Bringing 3rd man up and fine leg, so it's looks like it's going to be pace off.
Will Anderson look over extra cover? Nope, slower ball bouncer. Dragged fine of the deep backward square, so they'll get back for a couple. 12 to win from 3. Middlesex have to, from 4. Middlesex have to find the boundaries. Anderson will back himself here though. Those 2 deliveries he faced last over. almost cleared deep mid-wicket and then cut through points. Certainly capable of scoring both sides of the wicket, as well as very strong down the grounds.
Yorker coming up here.
Oh, slow ball, and thought about taking the one. It's not there. 3 to go, 12 needed.
Yeah, excellent bowling again. Real slow ball out the back of the hand. Martin just lost a bit of shape trying to hit that, but yeah, really need a boundary this ball now.
Such a strong driver of the ball. Does he find a way to go down the ground? Pace off, and he goes up and over extra cover for 4. 8 to win off 2.
Come on, Martin, you little beauty. Played that really well. Really good shot over extra. Again, slower ball, pace off, sat up. Putting Ellis under a little bit of pressure here, which is great to see.
He's such a strong driver of the ball, back foot and front foot, isn't he? I just wondered whether he'd be able to drive it over extra cover, that one of those previous balls in the over. Oh, it's an excellent slower ball. It bumps up through to the keeper. It's 6 to tie. 7 needed to win off the last ball. So 6 to tie as Holman comes on to strike. Well bowled again, Ellis. Block hole delivery.
Could do with that wide and the no ball from Rob Bailey now. Clutching a bit at straws, but yeah, Luke, where's he going to target? I think leg side, isn't he? With six needed for a tie. Try and get it over that man at deep backward square or deep mid wicket.
Merteres clearing the front foot.
Maybe 20 years ago, not now.
158 for 7. Vince with a long chat for Ellis. This would be a 4th win for Hampshire from 6 games if they can do it. They've won 3 of their last 4. Ellis with the final ball from the Saltersfield end. 6 to tie. Block hole delivery. Beautifully bowled by Ellis. Just the single for Holman. And a 5-run victory for Hampshire, as tight as you can imagine here at Radlett. And well, disappointment for Holman. 11 from 11 for him. Anderson 12 from 6. Tried to give it something at the end, and Holman not able to be the finisher today. But all round, probably the best performance Middlesex have produced so far. But that in itself probably is just as hard a pill to swallow, Tim Mercer.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we've lost wickets throughout the chase there, which have hurt us. You know, Max played well, Higo played well. Unfortunately, that start, those first couple of overs, cost us a victory. But yeah, well played to the boys. As you say, a tough pill to swallow. We've had 2 close ones, that one and the one against Gloucester at MTs as well, and we've come out the wrong side of it. And it's hard. We're going to have to pick ourselves up and go again Thursday.
Well, it's a couple of matches that Middlesex come away from just really thinking that they should have won at least a couple at this stage, which would be the hardest part. Tim Mercer, thank you very much for your company this evening. A 5-run victory for Hampshire. Middlesex take on Sussex Sharks at St John's Wood Lords on Thursday. A 6:15 start for that one. And then on Sunday, it's going to be a round off for Middlesex, but yeah, join us back on Thursday for the next commentary from the Middlesex stream. Not to be today, handshaking all round. A much improved performance by Middlesex with both bat and ball, with the defending champions just able to hold their nerve at the end and see it through. Disappointment no doubt for Middlesex, another defeat, but certainly that man, I think Richard Johnson, will be far better result out of this game in terms of their performance for Middlesex with both bat and ball. Something to take away to the game at Lords on Thursday against Sussex. The defending champions managing to hold on at the end. There's Tim Mercer out there as part of the coaching staff to be part of the handshakes at the end. Thanks for your company tonight. Thank you to Toby Rowland-Jones and Tim Mercer for their help on the mic. For myself, Kevin Hand, and the stream team here at Radlett. It's a very good night to you all as Hampshire wrap up the victory by 5 runs.
Pioneer, adventurer, leader. It's an instinct to never stand still. Always striving, never settling. Why should investing be any different? After all, your investment challenges aren't standing still. So neither will we. Expect more with iShares.
We're Cambridge, we're Colchester, Felixstowe and Cromer, we're Peterborough, Wellingborough, we're Luton and Acton, we're Hertford and Stratford, London and the East. We're beginners and we're veterans, local and adopted. We're progressive, we're inclusive, we're versatile, we wear our badge with pride. We're those who volunteer endless time, nurturing the future of our game. We're those who inspire others to give it a go. We're those who support with passion, and those who dream of pulling on our shirt. We're strengthening our history to thrive in the future. We are built by our region, for our region. We are sunrisers.
Leaders never stand still. Expect more with iShares.